Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I want to thank you for joining the Gaming Circle podcast, the podcast where each week we try and make some sense of all this crazy gaming discourse. And of
Let's
course, as
stop
I
it.
do,
This is a Sega podcast.
as I do each and
stop
every
lying to
week,
people.
I am joined by my brother, the Malcolm to my Martin, the man who will be on Games Talk Live with Fonzarelli Gaming on Sunday, Mr. Everborn Saga. How you doing this morning, sir?
What's happening? First of all,
have you had your coffee this morning, sir? Oh, there he goes. Yes.
triple shot of espresso because I have upgraded to the Nespresso as opposed to the Kruik.
And I see the pinkies in the air because that's how it has to be.
This is the only way you can drink it. It's the only way.
Only drinkable way. Understood. But you know what? Before we get into it, we are humbled and honored by a special guest today. You know, if you know this channel, you've been around the gaming streets. This man needs no introduction, but we're giving him one anyway because why the hell not? Okay. Now, this man does the RGT podcast when he's not busy taking over the gaming streets and interviewing a bunch of the insiders, getting the movers and shakers to sit down with him and really have interesting conversations. You know, we always say on this show, you know, we're gamers. We love all kinds of games. You could be a PlayStation gamer, you could be an Xbox gamer, you can play wherever you want. As long as you're respectful and you're in these streets having very intellectual conversations, we are with you and we are with this man. It is apt that his name has cloud in it because his moves are taking him way up, all up to the sky. We appreciate him for joining us today. Mr. BtCloudGaming, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing just good. What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Can I just say that BtCloud and Mr. Bad Bit, I don't know if it's because they have Bit in their names. These are the two best guys that are bringing us PlayStation-centric podcasts.
I agree wholeheartedly. I agree. Yes, wholeheartedly. Both Joe and yourself, you know, always bringing the great content. No BS, no console warring crap. You know, it's wonderful to have you here.
Like it is.
Tell it like it is, yes, and we appreciate you for doing so because you know our focus can't be split too far. Sometimes we need a bit of data from other sources. So yours is definitely a source I tap into whenever possible.
I mean, that's kind of what you're obligated to do if you think about it. When you have any type of platform, you have an Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation.
Indeed.
You're obligated to tell it how it is. If you don't tell it how it is, then how can you preach about change?
Right.
How can you demand change if you don't want to be honest? You know, you got to really tell it. You can't just go, hey, I'm a PlayStation channel, but 90% of my content is me slandering Xbox and saying Xbox is this. But I'm like, how are you a PlayStation channel?
You know,
indeed.
You got to find that.
Another thing that I look for, and this is from anybody's channel, you know, it's one thing, you know, okay, I'm going to focus on this thing and I'm not going to talk about another thing. But another reason why I appreciate you guys is, you know, you have to be objective, right? So like if you're on a Xbox podcast and that's what you call yourself and you can't, you know, kind of talk about what's what, right. If you got to make excuses for everything or whatever it is, that's not doing a service either. So it's not just bashing the other platform too. And some people design their channels around that, but there's also you got to be objective about everything that's going on. And that doesn't mean you can't be positive. It just means, you know, you're doing a service to your audience. So
a lot of people like to put up the big talk about tribalism in games, but they build their channel with that mentality in mind. You know, I mean, it kind of has
themselves,
like the bait me bro mentality. If that makes sense, Everborn, like, you know,
perpetuating the ridiculousness.
Yeah, it's like you can't necessarily have a difference of opinion without talking about or explaining yourself type of thing. It's like, again, I don't really understand it at all. I find it dumb down the road, especially when I see people who claim to be about change. And then as soon as the opportunity presents itself to show that you're about this, they flip-flop and go do the opposite. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, if Sony puts their games on PC, I'm done with PlayStation. What happens? Sony announced a PlayStation event. Oh, I can't wait. This is why Xbox sucks. I'm like, well, that sure escalated quickly. I thought you were done with PlayStation because this game is going to PC. I thought you were going to build a rig. I thought that I was wrong about, you know, me telling dudes that they're not going to leave what they're comfortable for to go to something new. Because let's face it, Asante, you already know, not everybody's going to go to PC because their fear of troubleshooting games. There are issues that we have.
Oh, and I have a bit of those today too. Y'all gonna hear a bit of those today too.
Listen, I had it with Halo Infinite. Here there, we have to turn down certain settings to get certain
settings and this and that. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of people are not going to do that. So it's just people need to understand that.
I have a PC and I don't go to PC.
Yeah, he has a PC 3080 comparable specs. Begrudgingly, indeed.
It's like if I have no choice but to do like Cyberpunk. I bought it for the Xbox and I was like, nope, this is not happening. So I had to go and play it on the PC. That's the sole reason I have a gaming rig, is just for those events where like it's just stupid not to. But yeah, man, like people have their set way of playing. This is not anything wrong with any platform, but what you're used to is what you're used to, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why, even though I'm not a fan of the Series S, I think that's part of the reason it exists, along with the whole xCloud thing, is because PlayStation guys, just like Xbox guys, but PlayStation guys or PC guys, they are going to stay where they're at, right? So your best hope of getting them is positioning yourself as a secondary item for them. So a lot of people, they might not.
That's how Nintendo succeeded.
Yeah,
Nintendo been succeeding in that way.
I mean, now they're eating a bunch of crow, which I'm happy to see with that Switch OLED versus that Steam Deck. Which is crazy. Yeah. That was like the biggest marketing campaign for the Steam Deck. And dudes like the Steam Deck will never be anywhere near the price range of a Switch. And I'm like, it's $50 more. That's in the price range.
but here's the funny thing about Nintendo. As soon as everybody's fed up with them, like really fed up, they're just gonna have the Switch Pro because it's probably already on hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they talked about it. They said it's like a future upgrade or something like that. So that's already being worked on. My thing is this though. It's a little too late to have a beefier handheld now, right? Because two of your biggest hitters are already out there. Metroid Dread is out.
Oh, but see, they lean on Nintendo. They lean on those old like classic IPs. So when they ring out the old tech till it's dry to the bone and people are like, okay, I'm done. Then they go, here's the Pro, here's the new Mario, here's Breath of the Wild, and everyone's like, please sign me up.
No, man. That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now.
Exactly.
We can talk all the shit we want. As soon as
they say it,
Pro, everybody's gonna shut up.
They're gonna show up that Mario Galaxy 3D or something on the.
There you go. You know what it is.
And by the time they drop it, what we wanted today is gonna be far out of date. So it's already gonna be old hardware by the time they drop it. They don't play around.
So you know what? We're already getting into it. But let's start this as we normally do. Let's start this as we normally do, and talk about what we've been playing a little bit. Now, I'll quickly, as you see Max Payne 3 on the screen. I've been playing a bit of that. This is the PC build because for some ridiculous reason, you cannot record footage, internal footage, from the Xbox on Max Payne 3. It's almost like Rockstar told them they're not allowed to do so. So when you go to hit record, it doesn't allow the record function. So I had to pull out the PC version to get this. Maybe I'm the only one experiencing it. I have tried multiple times. I have the back-compat version of Max Payne 3. And when I hit record, it acts as if I'm on a dashboard rather than in a game. So it does not let me record the footage. But nonetheless, great game. We'll be also talking about a few other games we've been playing and whatnot. But BtCloud, you are the guest here. What has been keeping you busy as of late?
So I already told you this on Boom Show, but I don't think Everborn heard or seen it, so I'll just say it. So basically, I work with IGN now. I'm a freelancer working with them, and I have been playing GTA San Andreas, and really I have to do guides and stuff for them for the game, so that's been taking up a good chunk of my time. But before that, I platinumed Deathloop. That's what I did. So
nice.
Platinum Deathloop. I thought Deathloop was really, really good. Wasn't the game of the year.
That's what I was going to ask you.
That's a conversation for a few more minutes. Give us a minute. We're gonna get there.
Is that game of the year? I'll save that. But
we'll get there.
a little different now.
Indeed.
Deathloop played that. That's about it. I haven't really been able to play as much with everything with the interviews, me signing paperwork. It felt like I spent a whole week signing tons of paperwork for stuff, but that's literally what's been happening. So yeah,
congratulations,
you didn't give away your
man. That's
firstborn
great.
child,
That's so
Thank
great.
Thank you.
You didn't sign away your firstborn child?
No, it's funny.
Check the fine print, man.
No, you would think about it. Like, I read all the fine prints. It was like, hey, we support you, this, that, and the third, but you can't do this. I was sitting going, okay, whatever. So I signed that.
Hey, there used to be a time when IGN had a problem with people streaming on their own while they were working there. So you're in a different era now. This is at least good for you.
They shot me on as a freelancer, so that was the best part about it. I'm on a list. They hit me up. They want me to review something or play something for them and all that stuff, guides, and that's what's up. How it is. Very cool.
Very cool. Now, Mr. Everborn, I know what you've been playing. I'll actually put it on while you're playing. We'll talk about what you've been playing, but go ahead and tell the fine people what you have been playing, good sir.
Well, actually, I have been playing. So during work yesterday, I was playing some bot matches in Halo Infinite.
Oh, Bot Master's back, baby.
Just out of principle, right? And I've also been playing Streets of Rage 4.
Nice.
Because I didn't finish it when it came out. I don't know what, because I think I bought it on the Switch and I was like, I'm not doing this. And even though it was in Game Pass, I was like a dickhead and bought it on the Switch because I'm like, it feels like a Switch type game.
By the way, real quick, I have been told by many a viewer who we appreciate that they watch this with their kids. So keep it PG-13.
Okay. There we go. But mainly after the 20th anniversary of Xbox, when they announced the 70 back-compat games that were getting added and boosted, this game that you're playing right here, Sonic Generations, which I completely missed this when it came out in 2011, right? And I don't know how, because the game is amazing. Halo, I want you to understand, Halo is out right now, and this is all I've been playing all week. I was on the final boss this morning when you called me, and that's why I sounded frustrated.
Beast mode. No, don't go there. No, beast mode. We appreciate you here, but come on now, player.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Don't bring your kids to On the Reel on Thursday.
No, don't go there. No. Here, we got Sonic on the screen. You fine?
Exactly. No, so if you guys don't remember this game, BtCloud, do you remember this game?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so I was because I was kind of checked out on Sonic back in 2011.
Yeah,
right, because that's the time when they did like Sonic Unleashed and a lot of other
werewolf thing. That's where it died to me too. I was like, I didn't really care for Sonic.
Bro, terrible,
right.
terrible.
So this came out and it was just never on my radar because I was like, oh, so that's it, Sega. You
killed the
milking.
franchise,
right? And so I said, let me try this out with the 60 FPS or whatever it is, whatever they're doing to it. It is a locked. I'm talking about no frame dips. This is what works for Sonic, right? Because and what they did here, each level, there's two versions of it. This is the classic version of the level. So this is kind of like Green Hill Zone. And it gives you a 2D vibe, even though it's 3D. And it's not the exact level from Green Hill Zone, because I checked.
It's Green Hill aesthetic, but there's differences. Yeah.
Right. So then you play the same level again, but as the newer Sonic, because basically there's some time. Honestly, the plot reminds me a lot of Rift Apart, believe it or not. Because it's different like timelines, but it's kind of like dimensions, right? So it's a different version of Sonic on each one, and then you play this version, right? And then you'll play the same level, but in a 3D version, which is the Sonic Adventure style Sonic. And this one was built by Team Sonic. A lot of people don't know. Not all of the like a lot of the bad Sonic games you've seen were not built by Team Sonic. And their level design is very interesting compared to a lot of the other ones. This is not Sonic Colors, which I think is terrible. This is actually really good. Now, it does have the signature.
Real quick, Everborn.
Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off. Continue your point, but see these guys here. This is what I think deluded Sonic. All of these unnamed weirdos.
I can show you a lot of Mario weirdos, sir. There's a lot of Mario weirdos.
Sure. You know, but
it's been hard to capture. It's been hard to capture the feels of Sonic Adventures 2 type of thing. That was my all-time favorite one.
I feel
there
like
you go. That's a good one. Yeah.
This.
See, you know what? Honestly, Everborn, I think the reason why this came and went without as much fanfare, or it didn't catch people, is because at the time it struggled to play. It wasn't as good as it is now. Now that they've given it more hardware and it's like really, really like tuned and 60 frames, and you can see it
Sega
shine.
Is terrible at optimizing engines. This is just you think about Yakuza. Think about
there's a story. There's a story related to Sega, by the way. So, folks, hold on to your hats. There will be Sega news, it's like small Sega news, but it'll be interesting. I want to hear your thoughts of it. But I don't even think you know what's going on. But yes,
I don't yet. I just woke up. I was playing this all morning. So, in short, though, I absolutely love this game so much that it is keeping me away from Halo Infinite. And I cannot believe that I missed this. And we need more of this. But so I've always been on this train of a AAA Sonic. I could just imagine this game if it looked like Rift Apart with that visual fidelity, right? Like that's what
I see you, man. I see you. The gameplay, I'm there with you. It's great gameplay. It
does fall apart. Like some of the later levels, the physics are not good, but that's kind of signature for Sonic. So they need to work on that, right? Because there's just sometimes you die because like there's a glitch, right? Or you can't get between an invisible wall. A lot of the things like the mistakes didn't really need to happen. But like if I'm rating this game today, I'm giving it an 8.5. Like really, really good. If you have not played this, play this game. It made me feel like a kid again. And they take and remix some of the old music.
This is the part that impresses me. This is what impresses me. When they go from behind the camera, same level, behind the camera, and they really like show, okay, this is the future of it. Rather than when you saw it on the 2D plane, here's the same level, but in a 3D plane, and it's fast. Like unusually fast.
But
it's very good.
Right? And without the frame dips. And you're seeing frame dips now because it's a capture. But
because it's a capture,
like to me, the 2D levels are just like Super Mario Deluxe, right? So I would appreciate another 2D Sonic, but with the 3D graphics like this, and then another Sonic Adventure style. Another Generations 2 would be good enough for me, but like,
I actually would like to go play Generations 2. I might Sonic Adventures 2. I might try that next. It's been a while since I played Sonic Adventures, and I think I actually even have that on PC as well. So I might do that.
And the last thing I'll say,
you can emulate it. That's right.
Is we know that they just patented Sonic Frontiers, so I hope we can get something like this, but with today's visual fidelity. And I am here for it. And BtCloud, you don't know this about me. I don't get into the console war stuff.
Oh boy!
But if Sega like makes a comeback. I will be console warring again like when I was 10. I'm telling you right now, it will be.
He says he'll be doing it against Nintendo though, so that makes it a little bit better.
I'm telling you everybody right now.
I don't think Sega would do that. I think
no, but I will. They don't have to. Like if they let's say they get acquired by Microsoft, which I think is a thing that will happen before the end of the generation. That's the square I'm standing on. That's when you will see me turn into a crazy.
He'll turn on this fanboy. He'll Nintendo. He'll do all of that stuff.
I mean, if they do, it wouldn't even be shocking to me anymore because it just feels like a fit that kind of works type of thing. Kind of like Insomnia Games and Sony. And I mean, you don't see Insomnia Games. You don't visually. You can't see that studio without a PlayStation. If that makes sense. So it would work.
And a lot of people point to, well, where's Persona? But I think Persona is kind of one of those Final Fantasy deals where Sony just has that locked up. And that's part of the reason why, it hasn't really left that platform. Same thing with Bayonetta and Nintendo. But like most of the exclusive stuff that they do.
Because Bayonetta was basically saved by Nintendo, right? After they made it multi-plat, nobody really bought it. And then it found
being saved after what we saw.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. They saved it
they kinda
before,
killed it
but maybe
further.
it might be too late now.
The frame rate alone killed that game.
Yeah, that's true. Especially the hardware they're running these days. It is what it is.
Are we
But
talking about
okay.
Phil Spencer push towards emulation? What he thinks about it?
We could have a chat about that. We can have a chat about that. I have some news stories to go through. If you wanna add that in, I have no issues with that. I'm waiting for it to become more than just one executive speaks on it. I'm waiting for there to become more momentum, because you know me, I've been Mr. Emulation guy for a long time. So
I'm saying, is it possible that Microsoft could have the Xbox support emulators, and then you kind of connect your...
It technically does now. It does now. It really does not. Like on the One S, which sits right here next to me, I can play every Nintendo, PlayStation. There's still ways. Oh, bro,
I'm saying an officially supported thing, because listen, man, you can play some of these Switch games with the FPS fixed, like we playing with Sonic right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's no joke. That is no doubt.
I mean, that's the reason I'm buying the Steam Deck.
I agree with some people. They were like, "Oh, I want to play Beyblade, the tournament." It was from GameCube, and I played that on PC. And dudes going, "How can you emulate such a masterpiece?" I'm sitting going, like
emulate such a masterpiece?
Like
that's ridiculous.
There's something wrong with emulation.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, you have people now with this mindset that emulation needs to go, and I'm sitting going, no,
that is the wrong mindset.
Nintendo doesn't have anything that preserved their legacy to begin with.
That's right.
So if you want them to remove the legacy from the emulation, then what exactly are you saying? You're saying that you're going to be you're going to be complacent with them charging you, let's say $60, or in this case $80 for those same games again that you had for free from emulation.
But here's the thing with emulation, right? And Kay Asante, you explained this to me and I did not know. Emulation is not illegal, right? You can buy a game on the Switch store or wherever else. And then
wherever else, you can take your Nintendo game, your Genesis game, your PlayStation game, your Xbox game, as long as you can find a proper way of ripping it to your PC. Like when they come for you and they go, "How'd you get this?" You better have one of these available to show where you got it. But if you do, that's it. Peace out. They have nothing to say to you. You can emulate whatever you want. It's just the question is, where did you grab the source? As long as you have a legal source, it's yours. You can do with it what you will.
Now imagine if that's like officially supported by the Xbox, where it's just like the emulation box kind of, and you can buy
but you know the problem with that.
You need a problem with that is get the thing.
No, you can, and even that is all of that is technical hurdles that they can solve easily. The problem with that is publishers would crucify them for it.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
they would I've been testing out all these streaming this and that. Nvidia GeForce Now came out, right? And and for years I've had an Nvidia Shield, which by the way is the same SoC as the Switch, and that was bought in 2015. I'm gonna keep reminding people of that. 2015 tech, and actually the Nvidia Shield is more powerful than the Switch because it gets to stay plugged in, so don't have to worry about battery concerns. So they can crank the CPU all the way up. Even that from 2015 is more powerful than the Switch. But we can continue. That thing has been out, and they've been testing Nvidia GeForce Now with it for a long time. And when they first released it, I'm sorry.
What if the Switch?
What if the Pro model is basically that with could be? Yeah,
that would be.
That's a good question. That's a good question. What if it is?
It is more powerful.
Their own little spin.
That's right. So they basically have been allowing us to emulate with that device for years now. Then they released the Nvidia, the GeForce Now, and they let any Steam game playable on GeForce Now for like 2 or 3 months. It was Mecca, whatever you have on Steam, it plays. Great. What happened? All the publishers came after them, took all their games off of the store. Now it's a question of, we'll let you play it if the publisher approves. And that's why Horizon Zero Dawn is no longer available on GeForce Now. That's why God of War will never be available on GeForce Now. Is it possible? Of course it is. It's a Steam game, but they have to allow it first. They have to ask permission first, and there's no way that Xbox will be able to go, yeah, here's the emulators for anything you want. We're not going to ask them for permission. We're just going to let you do it. Yeah. Right now they're in a like a gray zone where if you know how to do it, it's easily available to you. You can totally just do it. But the minute they officialize it, then publishers are going to get involved. And Look, like I said with what do you call it, with Max Payne 3. Why do you think I can't record video from Max Payne 3 on the Xbox? Because Take-Two had something to say about it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is the problem. You got to leave those companies out of it, because the minute you give them approval rights, yeah, you're not going to get everything you want. It is what it is, you know? So yes, okay. So we've been talking about the games we've been playing. We've been talking about, yes, Sega, as we do around here, right? As we do. But since we're going to transition into some of the news stories we've been talking about, let's stick on that Sega train, right? Let's stick in Sega land, and let me show you. let me bring to the stage a very interesting news nugget that I read this morning. And I was like, I wonder if Everborn knows what this is about.
I know what it is now.
Do you now?
Yes.
It is on the screen right now. Sega has clarified that their alliance with Microsoft won't result in exclusive Xbox games. Now, let's be clear. Let's be absolutely clear before we continue. This is all marketing BS, right? If they're going to make a deal, they'll make a deal still, and it won't have nothing to do with any of these statements. But as of right now, since they haven't announced anything, right? Somebody asked the question, and they had to say, "Oh, this won't result in," AKA, calm down, status quo, no big deal. But I thought it was interesting, and I thought I'd bring it to the forefront. What do you think?
I see Slow-Mo here with the popcorn, and I know J-Mo Money. I know you're in here, but guess what? This is what we knew when the deal was announced, right? If it meant full exclusives, they would have said that in the deal. This is already implied, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what we are talking about, though, is what are we seeing? Where can you find Football Manager right now? Somebody tell me.
Do you play Football Manager?
Doesn't matter.
Do you even know what that game is?
I did not ask you that. Where can you find it?
On PC.
And what?
Yeah. Keep it moving.
Okay.
All right.
Now, that new Warhammer game, where do you find that?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Continue.
No, I want to hear it.
On the damn Xbox. Go ahead.
But not other places, right? Okay.
Sure.
And then again, who helped develop Age of Empires 4?
Well, they didn't help develop Age of Empires. They were actually developing studio.
Okay. Yeah. So all of these things are happening, right? If they could come out and say that this definitely meant exclusive games, we would have known that a very long time ago. So what all they are doing is, for the people that are running around saying, Persona 6 is going to be exclusive to Xbox, they're saying
that's
slow
what they're
down.
doing.
Now, guess what? I still stand on the square, because and what this really means is that the games will at the very least be on Xbox. You can't tell me they're going to use Microsoft's tech to make a game. And by the way, where's Phantasy Star right now?
Yeah, true. Well, it's on Azure. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to use Microsoft's tech to make a game and exclude them from the platform? Yep. So it's not really about the exclusive. It is about the inclusion of Xbox in the big games that they have going forward, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
So,
yes. This is basically PR speak to say, hey, all y'all who are convinced that this means exclusive land, slow your roll. I get that. Cool. Yes. And like I said at the beginning of this is all PR speak completely. This is what Bethesda said right before they were bought. We're not in the market, blah, 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 blah. And then what happened? Boom. So that's all what this is. But it's interesting news.
This takes nothing away from my prediction, and it is a prediction, but it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. See, just testing the waters before they say, "Hey, we acquired them."
Exactly. And listen, I said, what Microsoft is doing right now is basically integrating them before the acquisition, because now they're going to be using all Microsoft
gym,
tech.
Right?
I don't really see it like that. I don't really see it like that.
Go ahead.
Honest. Beforehand, before all these acquisitions, Microsoft was known as the shooter console, or the dude bro console. If you want, that was the term.
That's very true.
Now they're getting themselves in the same boat as like PlayStation, where it's variety. There's more offered on the box. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what Sony's main focus has been. It's not just they have story-driven games. They have games for each category for whatever person is into that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I see this whole deals, or how these deals have been going. They're looking like, okay, you know what? Do we have a big studio to give us a deep story-driven game? we got one now. Let's make this studio for it. You know what I'm saying? Versus this one. So they're definitely checking off the list from what I'm looking at here for each thing.
Yeah.
No, this is good. And Slow Mo says, why would a clarification need to be made unless dum-dums were going around saying exclusives are coming?
That's true.
Basically.
Right? So a lot of people saw this. I've always saw the initial announcement and said it's going to lead to an acquisition, and I still say the same thing. Yeah. But I still maintain my point the whole time is this is about strengthening the relationship, which I believe will lead to an acquisition, and it will ensure that Xbox platforms are not left out when they have their next big sort of Persona type of game. And you can't. No, and anyone who wants to argue with that, please come here and fight me.
Right now, come here, fight me.
You're not going to develop a game on Microsoft's tech and then not put it on their platform.
Indeed. I completely agree. But no, I thought it was an interesting piece of news to bring up because this basically tells you that they are like it's coming out like the news of, hey, this whole back and forth about exclusives is definitely hitting their ears, and somebody needed to come out and speak about it.
But
now,
I also think that
hold on, Everborn. Speaking on people who may disagree and will come here and fight you, Mr. Boomstick XL.
The champion of justice has arrived. What's going on, everybody?
Let's go.
Yeah, listen,
how you doing, man?
I wanted to jump in because, you guys are always so gracious to be on my show. So I wanted to, pop in for 10, 15 minutes, give my thoughts of what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Listen, all I will say about Everborn Saga is the tenacity to will Sega to a reality
into existence.
You can't argue that. That is love beyond the word love. So you know what? Good on him that he wants Sega to be a part of Microsoft, because I think it would be great. And something, the truth of the matter is we have seen Microsoft do things with companies that the company themselves didn't think was possible, right? Yeah. All you have to do is look, and I keep reiterating this. One of the biggest games of 2021 is a game that was crowdfunded in Psychonauts 2, right? This is a game that would have looked so incredibly different than what we are playing and absolutely loving if it wasn't for Microsoft stepping in and potentially rescuing this stranded developer. That's the same thing that could be said about Ninja Theory. There's been a lot of criticism maybe in the years past that when Microsoft would get a hold of a developer, they wouldn't allow them to be themselves, right? And we've heard that with Rare, and then Rare came out of nowhere and they released Sea of Thieves and they're just killing it, right?
Yeah.
Well, Sega is in a position that they're not drowning, right? They're still making money, but just imagine if we as gamers who grew up, like I grew up with the Sega Master System, so I'm going all the way back. That's when I show my old man grays, right? A lot of people remember the Genesis is where they started, and that's with Sonic. And it would be absolutely incredible to see a developer like Sega, who has tried numerous iterations with Sonic and has hit a bunch of walls, to team up with Microsoft and release that next Ratchet and Clank level looking Sonic that is loved by everyone. And it would be a triumph for both companies. And, again, maybe, and I'm going to get on this little horse here. So move over, Everborn. I'm still holding out.
I'm winning people.
I'm still holding
hearts and minds, baby. Hearts and minds.
I mean, y'all wanted something with Astrobot with Sony. Sony trying to turn Astrobot into a mascot.
I platinumed Astrobot, and do you know why that is? Not because I'm a platinum whore. I got, I think, 5. That's no big deal, right?
But you love
the game. Was a love letter to everything that's Sony. How could you not like that game?
So you would say that game was amazing. I would say Sonic would be perfect as a mascot for Xbox if they got.
I would love to see him come back in a big way and be as relevant as a Mario or a Kratos or a Master Chief, because he is in that he has a 30+ year history, so he deserves it. He's still around.
Not only
right?
that, boom, House of the Dead.
Oh, dude, I'm still waiting for the Switch version.
You could
I will
do a
buy the
House of
guns.
Dead
Mrs.
Xbox,
Boom
go all
loved
in.
House of the Dead. She absolutely loved. We played it all the time back.
So
in
what
the
you're
day.
saying is you would like get rid of the zombie game that they make now from Xbox. What's that zombie game again that is always janky? People love it, but it's real janky all the time. I forget the name of it.
Dead Rising?
No, not Dead Rising. That's Capcom. This is first party Xbox.
Janky.
Oh
You said it
man,
was janky.
it's
the one you have.
it always got very buggy whenever it comes out. It needs a lot of revisions constantly. I forget the name of the damn game now.
Has it released or it hasn't released yet?
It's released, and there's part 3 coming out soon. The State of Decay. There you go. There you go. Pixel Bit. So put State of Decay on the back burner for a little bit and have them make House of the Dead.
I mean, that would be kind of cool, but you know what? Being that we're talking about platforms, I tell you what I would love to do. No one from Microsoft has called me yet. I'm still waiting the phone. The bat phone is waiting. Ring me up, Phil Spencer, if you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
I need an explanation, an understanding as to why we still don't have a Banjo-Kazooie announcement. I don't care if you don't release it for 4 years and you want to get the hair just right, where when the wind blows, his arm hair moves. That's fine. But please, for the love of Joe, this is a character that is iconic, and I believe deserves a reboot, a revision, a retelling. However, if you want to just I'll be honest with you, I would
should
just
have came back as soon as we got Crash Bandicoot.
100%,
100%. That's
because
when you pulled the trigger.
Spyro,
the love was Spyro.
Yes.
The love was back. That's when you should have pulled the trigger.
See,
Conquer. I would have pulled the trigger with Conquer coming back.
Me too.
The bad verbiage there, the bad mouth. That might not play in today's world because it's a kiddie game,
Honestly, I would give Conkers to Obsidian, believe it or not. Because remember they did that South Park Stick of Truth.
Yes, it's so good. Oh man, that game is woefully underrated.
Still haven't played this.
Yes,
I love the first one.
It is so good.
And so I think that I think part of the problem with Banjo is they're saying they don't have a studio to make it, but that shouldn't stop them because they're working with Avalanche, they're working with IO Interactive. They just again had Sega do this Age of Empires thing, so they can have a second party studio come in and make that game for them. You could hire out TT Games if an acquisition is not on the table.
Yes.
You don't have to wait for a studio to be able to do it. You know what I mean?
True.
Well,
true.
you know what we just saw that was brought a bit of a tear to my eye, because like I said, I'm still holding out that they would be actually somehow become a part of Microsoft, and that just, if they don't want to, then I understand, but the fact that they're still out there, and considering everyone is buying everyone, we just saw Tencent taken a small portion of the team that brought us Ukulele, right? They're all they're all everyone on that team, from what I understand, X-Rare developers that helped create Banjo. And like I said, I mean, I don't know the inner workings. I'm not a business guy, right? I'm just a knucklehead with a microphone, but I can tell you that it's there. The blueprint is there. Hire these guys and gals. Yes, let them say, listen, here you go. Here's the assets. Go crazy. We'll see you in 3 years.
Hey, do you need Banjo if they're working on bringing Sonic in as the mascot? I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say this. Look.
Saying,
if you're telling me I have to choose one, it's Banjo. Sorry, Sonic. But
Boom, what are you doing? What are you doing to me, Boom?
I'm just as passionate for Banjo as you are for Sonic. I can't give up on Banjo-Kazooie.
That's where the heart just fell.
Look at J Money. Look at J Money. He's out here for the violence. Give Everborn another Sonic Unleashed. Oh no. Yeah, because there's too many of those Sonic Unleashed around, my friend.
There's more Sonic Unleashed than there are generations, and that's the problem.
Oh Lord,
that is indeed the problem. Yes,
Sonic Generations is believe I will say this. I know you're playing it right now. It was just announced as one of the backward compatible games that got a boost. Good. It is honestly the de facto Sonic to play in the last decade.
Listen, the way I see it, I feel like
I'll
it's
throw
Sonic
a quick
Adventures
second to Sonic
2.
Mania.
No, but this is what I'm saying. But that's a decade, right? Because that came out in
True.
2020. So it is Sonic Adventures 2, then it's Sonic Generations, then it's Sonic Mania. That's all you got. And I would love a graphical remake of Sonic Mania with the what do you call
the Sonic Generations kind of style?
That the Sonic Generations 2D, 3D style.
Yeah.
Somebody make that same levels. All the way here for it.
All right. So as Everborn want to do, every time we speak Sonic, his beard melts away and he turns into a 10-year-old boy. We will move swiftly along.
Hey, listen, you know what? I'm saying this now. I will shave the beard. Everybody that knows me, I've had this short beard since you guys have seen me. Shut your mouth, slow-mo. When the acquisition,
love it.
When the acquisition happens, I'm gonna shave my beard in celebration.
Big shout out to Slow-Mo Backslap, one of the industry's
big shout out to Slow-Mo.
I don't know if you guys are paying attention to what I said.
No,
I heard you. You will shave your beard.
So I'm gonna look like a 10-year-old kid.
Clean.
There you
shaven.
go. Clean shaven. So okay,
yes.
Okay, we'll see that. All right, so we'll move along because there's a few other little news stories.
See, you bring up Sega, he says, we go an hour into it.
See, I told you. That's why I had to drop it in there because I know you. But okay, let's real quick. This is not really a news story, but I saw it and I thought it was interesting. We knew it was going to come into Game Pass.
Bitch. Oh, sorry. No, because I bought this.
Of course we bought it.
And then I didn't play it, right? I played it halfway through Mass Effect 1. And then games started coming out, so it went back to the backlog. And now it's coming to Game Pass.
I'm literally on the list.
They have an EA Play communication. You know that every EA game, every single one, whether it's 6 months, a year, or whatever, will eventually end up on Game Pass. BtCloud, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it was only a matter of time for us to come. Tell you the truth, I'm kind of surprised they didn't do it day one.
It should have been.
Me too.
I agree.
Me too.
They already made all the money.
That was a missed opportunity. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
They could have brought
and I thought maybe they thought that it wouldn't hit as big as it did because people are still looking for a new one, and that last one did not leave a good taste in people's mouths. But this thing hit big. It hit pretty damn big.
Yeah, that's a weird mindset too, because if y'all look at the amount of love the remake for Dead Space in general is getting, then that should immediately tell you, like, yeah, we would definitely buy this.
Yeah, for sure. So yes, we know this is all coming to Game Pass, but people have now started seeing it with a Game Pass logo next to it, and their eyebrows have started raising, and they're like, what's going on here? You know,
I still think that they should have done, instead of Mass Effect 4, they should do a remake of the Mass Effect trilogy, like FF7 remake style.
Yeah, you know,
but then they shouldn't have done this.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Remake would have been,
That's what they should have focused on, because I do not have confidence that Mass Effect 4 is going to tell a story that lives up to the trilogy. But you could have reintroduced this story to an entire new generation of gamers.
Oh, and like
with today's
use bits and pieces of the new one, like, so to speak, kind of like build towards it.
Well, I mean, realistically, they're like, when this came out, and shout out to ILP. I'm rocking the shirt today. Addict had not played any of the Mass Effect games, and through this, he's become a big fan, and he likes the third one, which is also very unique. How much
of a fan would he have
a lot of people
if they did a full remake?
Like, but what I'm saying is, even now, with what they did currently, it did garner a lot more new fans, right? Yeah. I get you. If they had used the new, if they had remade it, it would have been a big thing.
It would have taken over the world if they did it.
No,
and
I hear you on that.
3 parts for one for each game, full remake. But
now the reason why
with 4.
I won't hate on this because we've seen remasters and remakes go wrong, right? Shout out to GTA. They've come out this week and apologized for their complete ridiculousness when it came to the GTA remake remasters. It's not up to our standards. I didn't put it in the document.
It's awful. It was a money grab on every level. It's disgusting.
Yes. It was, so at least this is a standard.
It was an iPhone game.
It was literally an iPhone game. Yes. It's not even a joke. It is the same studio that forked the code and made the iOS games. They're the ones that made this remake, the GTA remake. So it's basically continuing the code of the iPhone game and putting it on consoles, which is why it looks as interesting as it does. It is what it is. But okay, I saw that. I thought that was interesting. We knew that this was going to happen. It's no big deal. And then I thought this was also kind of interesting. So I thought I'd bring this up real quick, which was a little bit kind of like, hey, now, people, what's going on? Now, have you seen this at Evermore? And Boom, please chime in as you can. Call of Duty is delaying their Warzone map for the day of the Halo Infinite release.
It's still not going to work.
I mean,
of course
the game is dead. The studios is pretty much abysmal. Vanguard has left a bad taste in gamers' mouths. I don't know. Have y'all seen Angry Joe's review of it?
No, I heard it was.
I have not seen it yet.
I heard it was epic.
If you see what they did to zombies, you would never want to support them again.
Really?
They took all the cool stuff out of zombies. There's no ray gun. There's no thunder. There's none of that stuff.
You see a slow-mo just said Call of Duty want to take another L. Yeah, they're going to. Look here's the thing. I'll say this. After the incredible response of the 3 flightings, right? The numbers of it's only a couple of days old, multiplayer beta, and the savage, incredible elation from everyone that has had a chance to preview the single player.
Yeah, that's where we're going next, by the way.
Yeah, yes. Nothing is going to anything that gets in Halo's way is going to get steam rolled. I don't care if Call of Duty launched a new game that day. They're gonna doing this to me. I'm gonna say something a little bit, a little edgy here. It's pathetic because what you're doing is. And again, this is what annoys me. Phil's always talking about partners. We don't want to get in our partner's way, right? Yeah. They're very honorable with the way they do things, very strategic. This is a dick move, pardon my French. Okay? I think that after seeing all of the trials and tribulation that 343 has dealt with, going all the way back to the Master Chief Collection, this is their coming out party, man. And as a developer, don't you want to just step to the side and allow them the light, the shine that they deserve?
Let me ask you.
They do this with every Call of Duty game. They always try to go, well, that's a nice game, but hey, guess what? Our sucker's gonna buy ours, so we have COD. We're just gonna put it on your release. And the thing about COD too, and it shows every single time. And I'm still surprised that this game sells, but there's the innovation gets more and more and more less so.
Yes,
to the point where you don't see the big jump for next gen. And let me add on to this. Like, for example, when we first got into the PS4 and Xbox One with Ghosts, I remember when we first saw Ghosts,
that was terrible. Oh my god.
When we first saw it, though, when we saw the trailer with, and we thought, you know what, maybe this is it. Some new mechanics, looks good, right? Has there ever been a trailer since then that looks anywhere near as like, what? Damn, they're introducing anything. There hasn't been nothing. And that just goes to show that they do not care. We're still going back to the same time zones.
So which is so strange.
Let me ask you.
That's like Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed franchise. You notice that, right? You're doing the same time zones like they were Ezio. Why?
Well, this is what happens when. There's several things, right? This is what happens when you force the game out on a yearly TikTok schedule, right? So if you look at your iPhone or your Galaxy, whatever, right? If you upgrade every year, you don't notice the update. But if you wait like 3 years, 4 years to upgrade your phone,
then you notice big boost.
Those intermediate upgrades, you could skip them. They don't matter. This is why the iPhone started doing the S year. So because people normally upgrade every 2 years after.
The biggest thing that kills the franchise Everborn is the fact they don't even have dedicated servers still to this day, and they have more money than any studio out there. But where's the dedicated servers?
Now let me give you some tinfoil hat stuff. Yeah. Is there any world where this decision was made after Phil Spencer made his comments about reevaluating their relationship with Activision because of the things that go on? No, you think they just did? Okay. Let me take the tinfoil hat off now.
I mean, no, but hold on. This news story, this specific news story, dropped literally today. Okay, this wasn't announced yesterday. This was this morning. Okay, now when this decision was made, we don't know, but this came out today, and that news blew up mainly yesterday and the day before. So there is some timeline issues there. It could be kind of because we will touch very briefly on the whole Activision board thing. They're standing by their man, right? Even though he's absolutely a dreg of a human being, the board is still standing by him. So there is something to be said about.
Are you surprised by that? Look at how they treat their fan base. Their fan base asks for improvements. They ask for innovation. They ask for better perks, maps, weapons, right? Balance. They give you this polar opposite. Look at Call of Duty again. I'm gonna go back to Call of Duty Ghosts, for example. Call of Duty Ghosts. It does
seem like retaliation, no?
Yeah,
it does.
They do this all the time. And if you hear some of the stories that came out of this, like a woman said she was sexually assaulted twice by her manager at the spot, and he's still there.
Yeah. It's gross on every level.
Are y'all really surprised by this? They don't care about human beings at Activision. They don't care. They care about one thing. They see Call of Duty is going to sell X amount of money, right? They don't care that the hardcore faithful who built the pillars with them, right, are gone. They just see that they're just going to rank in the success of the 5-year-olds and 12-year-olds.
They don't pay attention to any of this stuff.
This is essentially
so we're still going to get their money.
Yeah, this is essentially another Fortnite for the 5-year-olds and 12-year-olds that play this. Yeah. That's all it is.
Everyone, what's up?
No. I'm just saying. So we already see that right now, not officially released, but really officially released. There are more players on Steam right now playing Halo than they are Battlefield 2042. Right? Yeah. So the Battlefield the big thing about it, so is that I don't know if that's a Steam stat or overall concurrent.
It's a Steam stat. That's a specific Steam stat.
All right. So more players.
So it could even be more because on the other consoles you don't really get those tight numbers as you get on Steam.
So, if it's not retaliation, could it just be that they know that there's going to be a news cycle and they want to kill? And this is not like it's more strategic and not less retaliatory. Where once the Steam train leaves the station. Right, with Halo, if you don't slow down its momentum, you won't be able to stop it. So they figure, let's drop this on the same day because if Halo gets too big, it'll be too big to fail, so to speak.
Yeah. The only thing that's kind of like plaguing the Halo multiplayer is the progression system. They fixed that,
which they are addressing.
They are addressing.
Once that gets fixed, I don't really see an issue with anything involving the Infinite Halo, like the multiplayer. I don't see anything going on with that.
And welcome to the Mag, good sir. Thank you. 25 people in the chat. Hit the like button. Please do so. Thank you, Mag. Welcome.
What I love about and this is one of the things that really excites me about Halo Infinite and its ongoing plan. If you've played any Master Chief Collection, you know how involved 343 is and how seriously they take community feedback and how sort of fast that feedback loop is when they address issues from the community. So you saw in a matter of days, everyone complained about the progression system. They're like, we hear you, there's an update coming out, and the update is out. And it may not address all the issues, but this is because you can't really listen to everything everybody says. Because I saw someone saying if you keep listening to all of the crazy Halo fans, you'll get progression from bot matches, and people will just do that to move forward. And so my point is, they have now kind of slowed down, if not sunsetted, the work on Master Chief Collection, and all of 343 is focused on Infinite and keeping it going and interesting and addressing.
Actually, you know what? To your point, they have officially said. They said I was watching the Halo play along party thing yesterday. It is official. They are now winding down Master Chief Collection and moving on to the Infinite. They've 100% done so. Yeah,
and the beauty here is Master Chief Collection and I haven't played it in a few years, but Master Chief Collection is kind of, you have those set of games and those set of old maps that they're updating. This is a new service where they can introduce new maps, where they can finely tune things, update how progression works, and do all of those things and add story elements to new things, which will allow Halo to grow to an even larger audience instead of the hardcore that Master Chief Collection plays to.
If you want that old school, it's always available for you.
Yeah,
go ahead.
They can have retro playlists. They can bring back the OG maps from the Master Chief and bring those in there and have the pad versus keyboard.
It's funny. To your point, BtCloud, that's a fabulous idea, and I think that they might have. I mean, we don't know because they haven't said already, but they might have been transitioning a lot of the classic maps that people really dig, bringing them forward and updating them for.
I'm pretty sure they look at the analytics of what exactly, in terms of like top maps, like whether it be private play or whatever, is really, the most ones, and they'll move those over.
But with the maps though, right? That's a little interesting to me because, this Halo plays, even though it feels like traditional Halo, it plays very different.
It's definitely faster.
Right?
Yeah.
It is faster, but the verticality of the grapple shot changes how you will interact with any map, and the new maps are designed to take advantage of that. If you play an old map, how will it work? I'm saying you can bring it over, but you have to make adjustments to account for things like
verticality and all of that. You're right. Well, but you know what? Even in the old Halo games, you had banshees, you had, you could traverse the map with the skies. It's true that they didn't have enough like structures where you couldn't Spider-Man the whole thing, but even now you can like kind of break the maps a little bit. Like there's ways where you can fly and you get to a certain point and you can feel the skybox pushing back on you. So they have set up the sandbox in a way that allows you to do traversal in multiple ways. But you're absolutely right that the grapple shot really adds a new dimension. So they really couldn't put that back in the old school,
That's what I'm saying. It's just you can't sort of copy and paste the old map. I'm just saying
they're gonna have to make adjustments for sure. Listen, gentlemen, I just wanted to pop in.
We appreciate you.
Boom, real quick, Boom. Before you go, Boom. Tell us what you were thinking about what you saw from the coverage.
That's where we're going next. Go ahead, man. Yes,
I want to hear how you think it looks. Has it redeemed itself? Does it?
I'm going to tell you this right now. I watched Rands. I watched Rands. I watched Dealers. The Iron Lords did an incredible coverage on that. And listen, folks, if you were excited for the multiplayer, which we're all playing and quite frankly enjoying. I'm here to tell you that Halo is back. It's back in a big way. I am currently putting together, as we speak. It's funny, I was working on it before I jumped on the show, X-Vlog episode 3. If I can just share the screen for a second.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, man.
I want to show you the cover of this is probably my best thumbnail to date. What I'm going to be thank you. So what I'm going to be doing on this upcoming weekend, it's going to be before the holiday. I'm going to be dropping X-Vlog episode 3, and I'm going to be talking about the campaign. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I can't from personal accounts. I wasn't able to play it, which that's fine because I'm going to be doing a lot of these X-Vlogs in December when we get the game launched for everybody. I'm going to be talking about my experience and going through some graphics and progression. But what I am going to be talking about this week with Halo Infinite's campaign is everyone's opinions on it. Some of the biggest media outlets that have been really hard on Xbox over the course of the last couple of years are now starting to get excited about Halo again. Like these are journalists that hello.
Hi. This is the missus. She wanted to say hi to everybody.
This is everyone.
You got a new coat. I'm complimenting her on it.
Nice.
Oh, go ahead. Everybody in the car. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's nice. We love it. We love the family.
And even though I just had
That's right.
coffee, she brought me Starbucks. Look at
Nice.
that.
It's a
Very
beautiful
nice.
thing. That's right.
Aw.
That's
But yeah,
right.
so
Yes.
what I'm going to do is I've been putting all the quotes together. Some of the biggest media outlets have been saying, I mean, when you hear it, you're not going to believe. You're not going to.
This man's slow-mo is shoes and death.
He's a
Oh,
comedian.
but this is what he does, man. This is this is the show. It's me, it's Everborn, it's the wonderful guest, and Slow-Mo in the chat just out here just roasting people, roasting all day.
That's what he
You
does.
can't do this show without him.
I agree. But listen, gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for letting me advertise my new show.
Bro, we appreciate it. Yes.
We need more of these X-Vlogs, Boom. We need
yes,
more.
we do.
You know what?
Yes, we do.
It's not the production value is, I'm getting better with it. I'm doing some transitions and stuff. I'm learning. I'm growing. From the first one to the third one, you're gonna see a noticeable difference. I'm not gonna have a black screen in the back of where the gameplay is playing. I actually have now some artwork that's gonna be there. So it's evolving and growing the same way my show did. It was very raw when I first started. Now, I have intros, outros, and all that other stuff. So yeah, again, 3,100 views on the second one, which is 1,100 views more than the first. So whatever I'm doing, I'm doing right.
Exponential growth, man.
And,
that is good growth.
yes. But listen, talk about growth. First of all, I'm going to retweet this out there. You have a significant amount of people here. This show is growing, and the reason why it's growing is because of what you guys bring to it every Saturday. It's an honor to have been here. Internal Umbra, good friend of all of our programs, and the support he always gives is amazing. So thank you for that.
We got to get him on PTG, man.
Yes, we do. You know what, Umbra, hit me up in the DM. We'll figure out a Monday to get you on the show. Absolutely,
that'd be really awesome.
We got to get University.
Yes.
Listen. Oh, University, we're talking. We're talking in the
good.
Awesome. Yeah. We're talking. That guy's exploded on the scene. But listen, BtCloud. Pleasure to work with you again. Thank you for yesterday. Everborn, I'll see you in the Asante on Monday. Everyone have a great weekend. Be safe and enjoy the hell out of Halo, will ya?
And Sonic.
Yeah, we're doing that today.
All right, guys.
Get out of here, man.
Later, bro.
Thanks, man. See you later. And Sonic, this man. All right. So let's level set back. We've been in Halo talk, right? So before, in addition to the campaign stuff, which we'll get into, this is one of those conversations that happened during the whole they did a 343 did a play time thing stream yesterday, right? To your point, Everborn, they would talk how they listen to their community. Remember that whole you're safe now meme? Yes, I posted it on Twitter. Actually, they actually heard that meme and proved that they actually were safe. Now, how they proved that, you can see the video on my tweet. How they proved that was when they jumped off that bridge, that hill. That thing could have done a spiral. The Warthog could have been flipping over. Those guys were secure in the freaking vehicle, and I'm just that doesn't look too good. I expected them to fall in that.
That's cap, right?
It is.
They died off screen everybody that Batman kills.
But you don't get it. They showed them jumping off the bridge again. But the craziest thing is, even in that world where they flip the Warthog sideways and you think a normal human would fall to their death, those guys are in there yep, we fine. It's all good.
No, they can have excuses.
This is not something you should be showing people. Unless you have magnetic boots locking you into the back of that Warthog, everybody should have been dead. But somehow they survived for some reason. But anyway, they did come out and say that not only the co-op, but also if they basically pushed the timeline back a little bit. So now we're talking May 2022.
Let me ask you a question about this, right? Because they said it would be in time for season 2. Does this mean now the seasons last longer, or is the season still 3 months, but the campaign will not come until season 3? I mean, the co-op will not come until season 3, because they said it should come initially when we thought it was March. They said co-op will come in time for season 2.
Yeah.
Right. So how long are the seasons?
That's the question. Initially, it was 3 months. Now, since the times have kind of shifted a little bit, it makes me think that either what you're saying is right, or they've delayed the season, or they're going to extend season 1 a little longer because now the math doesn't add up anymore. The first season only lasts until May. Okay, so
Okay.
see, there you go. There you
Well, I
go.
thought the first season doesn't last until May, right? You mean the season 2 comes out in May because the seasons last forever. They said you could go back and do them at any time.
See, okay. So what Beast Mode is saying, and Beast Mode has been known to come with the factual data, so I'll give it to him.
Okay.
He's saying that the ones afterwards will be shorter, but this one lasts until May. So season 1 will be longer than the other seasons tend to be.
Okay, I got it. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Now, my next question is, and someone, if I hope you guys can explain this to me. There are events now that are happening with the samurai armor.
Yes.
Now, how do these events? What is an event in Halo like?
So, an event, to my understanding, this event in Halo, which will be a free event, by the way, so you don't have to be paying. You don't have to pay for the battle pass or anything like that. If you play within that time frame and you fulfill certain criteria that they will announce or they will show, then you are eligible to get the battle pass, to get the special armor. But there are, as in Destiny, there are hoops to jump through. There are certain objectives to complete during that time frame.
But these are, because everything that I've seen from Halo multiplayer is about specific matches, whether it's Slayer, Capture the Flag, Big Team Battle, all those things. But there's not like they don't have a concept of raids, at least not yet, right?
Not yet. So I don't think this will be that either.
So when we talk
I don't think this will be that either.
We're not talking about a raid type of thing. We're just talking about, here are some things you have to do through your course of your multiplayer matches.
Well, so we're only speaking using historical information, and that obviously is not necessarily the best indicator because they are striking a new chord, right? Based on all the co-op stuff, all the campaign stuff we're seeing, they're switching things up quite drastically in certain areas. So it could be that next week they go, hey, here's a raid style battle. We don't know that. But historically, it's been the same levels. As of today, it is not there. No.
Okay.
It could be next week when this comes out. This will be introducing that. We don't know until we get there. And so far, they've been kind of cagey and quiet about it. They've shown you the rewards and whatnot, but they haven't really showed you the details on how to get said rewards. So we shall see. I don't think it'll be a Destiny raid style. I'm sure that will come at some point, but this may be possibly more of the same, as in these are the criteria. You have to use special guns, specific modes. Who knows? We will know that next week. But all I'm saying is, I want that samurai armor. I'm not buying it, but I want it. So I'll play. I'll play next week and see what's good. Look,
I have no problem buying it.
No, I have no problem buying it either. That's not a problem. But the much like Randall Thor, who said it on yesterday's Xbox 2, I don't care about buying cosmetics. It's never really been a thing for me. Like, the game is the game. I want to play the game, and to throw cosmetics at me, yeah, sometimes they get me. You throw a Black Panther in Fortnite, you might see me buy a skin, but that's like few and far between. I'm not that guy who has to look. I'm here to play the game, rather than look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just never been my thing. That's why Sea of Thieves, I fell off of that game. As much as they're doing and I like what they have to offer, that's why I fell off of that quick, because it's all about visual progression rather than actual progression. So I'm just like, I really don't care how I look like in this game,
So
and besides, it's first-person shooter, so you can't even see what you look like. I don't know what's good.
So Slow-Mo, I understand, and that's a hilarious comment. If he wanted to play Destiny, he'd demean himself by playing Destiny. I understand the sentiment, but I do like.
He's a Division player, so the slander is deep in there.
I do like the idea of Spartans with these skill sets having sort of a PvE thing that is not just a bot killer match, right? I like the idea of going on a hunt together, or having a mini boss or something like that. I think
they have a mode like that in? They had a mode like that in Halo 5 multiplayer, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a huge PvE map, right? Where there were, and it was also PvP in there as well, but there were like bosses strategically strewn around the map, really large, and you could just go in there and work together to take out bosses and whatnot.
I don't know what the hell J-Mo Money's talking about. He hopes they bring in raids and switch to the Frostbite engine. Shut up.
Frostbite engine. He's out here. He's out here trying to get some attention. Hello, here I am.
Frostbite engine.
So okay, but long story short, is this upsetting to us?
No.
BtCloud.
Nope, it's not. It's not upsetting at all. We're gonna get the updates.
You know, we're already waiting, right? Like now we're waiting 2 more months.
Yeah.
A month or 2 more. Yeah.
It's not. It's not really that upsetting. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
What we saw from the campaign, I
Mhm.
think that more than makes up for a lot.
Exactly.
Of what you're gonna
Exactly.
do. And I think.
So
a
go
lot
ahead,
of people
speak
are
on it.
gonna,
What did you think of all the coverage and everything else that you saw about that? Go ahead.
So again, it's kind of like the way I look at it is the same way you would look at a job interview, right? You always want to put your best foot forward. You want to look the best type of thing, right? So the first ever showcase that we saw where we got the Craig meme, in my honest opinion, should have never have happened. They should have waited until this very moment to show off everything the way it is. That way, the moment would have hit much more different. You know what I'm saying? Versus then, because obviously you got everybody doing all the petty stuff, like they're doing the comparison still, they're doing the still image zoom ins and all that stuff. It looks a lot better than that.
Hey, BtCloud, to your point, right? This is, I think, what Sony has been a little more smart about. There could have, for all we know, there could be Craigs all over God of War Ragnarok, but they're not going to show that to you. They just said, look, we delayed it a year. It's not ready yet. Right? Yeah. And nobody questions because Sony didn't give them the ammo.
Right. Sony, like that's the thing about Sony. A lot of people say it's a good thing, and it's looked at as a bad thing in time too, like them not being as transparent on the internet. I think transparency is definitely a key to be looked at, right? Everyone, it's a good thing to look at, but sometimes it's best to be quiet. Don't say a word. You know,
you're muted.
You're muted. But
I was saying I'm chewing. Don't mind me turning off the camera. I don't want to see my face.
But sometimes it's better to be quiet in certain aspects. If it's not ready, if it never was ready to begin with, why are we showing you? Who are you impressing by showing unfinished pop-in type of material? You know what I'm saying? And when you know how the internet is, they're gonna nitpick it, they're gonna break it apart, they're gonna say, "Hey, the Xbox Series X is weak; it can't do X amount of things." And slow-mo, I saw your comment, you bastard. But that's the thing. It's just funny. It's funny to me, but at the same time, it's like you only have yourself to blame when you put yourself in weird scenarios. Like
think of all of the state that Halo has been in terms of the public discourse about it. All could have been avoided
if you just quality control.
Forget quality control in terms of what we see, right? Yeah. Because we see that what they're delivering, by all accounts, looks great, and we'll talk about the campaign visual fidelity and co-op and all that thing. But I mean, multiplayer. But if they said in 2020, in a tweet and a blog post, we're sorry because of the pandemic or whatever, Halo's going to be delayed a year. And they never showed us anything.
I hear what you're saying, Everborn, but the problem with that, and I think we're all in agreement that they should have delayed what we saw. But the problem with that was they were already knee deep in marketing. They were like they had already spent the dollars
anyway.
But keep in mind,
sure, but they needed to show some effort to their partners that were there. That hey, we at least tried to bring it out, and look at the backlash. That's why we delayed it. If they had quietly closed it in a blog post or something, then all the money spent, all those partners that were out there, you had your building blocks, the little all of the marketing. They would have been like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like they were too knee deep in it to then push it back. They should have pushed it back before they started that stuff.
I'm on the Pixel Bit G train of tinfoil hats that they never intended to release it last year. And they had to show it so they can prove to their partners that
that's right.
We got not ready for prime
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's right. Yeah, because it was never intended to come out. Yeah,
Sony did the same thing with Ragnarok and Forbidden West. So
they knew it wasn't coming out.
Those games were never coming out. And the funny thing is, a lot of people thought they were, especially Ragnarok. I said it before. I'm like, guys, if they're showing you a cinematic title card with music, there's no gameplay going to be shown anytime soon. It's not going to be shown this year. It's going to be next year. And when they show the gameplay, it's probably not even going to drop that year. And what do you know? It's coming out next year. So that's the thing they should have did. They should have did bits and pieces. What they could have done was had the Halo music play, show the title card, you know what I'm saying? And then move on, save the gameplay reveal when it was polished and ready, Everborn, like you see here, for probably around this time. You know what I'm saying? Give bits and pieces of it.
So here's a question that I have to you folks, right? When this came out last year, when it came out, and you had Digital Foundry ripping it apart. Hey, we need this, we need that. You had the Craig meme, you had this. As transparent as we've seen 343 and Xbox in general to be, is there a thought that they needed that feedback in order to get it where it is today? And without coming out like that and showing it and getting all that critical feedback, they probably would not have addressed everything they have addressed now. Is there a thought to that?
I disagree.
I
disagree.
Okay, go ahead, man. Yeah.
Oh no, I personally, I think I don't think so at all. I personally think them.
So had they been quiet,
if they
showed it this year, it would have been exactly the same game we see now with everything now.
I think so. It would have been right because they would have the proper time to edit it. They would have the proper time to fix it up, polish it up, make it look great. Add the initial polish, all that stuff. Them showcasing it early on, and it's super rough edges, right? With pop in and characters with no textures. All that does is just show like, oh yeah, that shows laziness on their part for one. And on top of that, that made that caused more questions than answers. Remember, the biggest question that people had was, is 343 even worthy of making games for Halo after this? You see what I'm saying? People are asking that, and a lot of people are questioning again, is this even worth a buy? And then they were questioning the budget. They're like $500 million for this. Remember that? A lot of people were saying all that stuff, and it's that caused more damage than anything.
Yep. See, and Slow-Mo's comment here, that is the only piece of the puzzle that makes me think that it was genuinely a genuine pullback rather than a strategic fake out, because they spent so much marketing dollars. It's on the damn box, man. And then they intended not to release it. They just kind of did that as like guerrilla fake marketing. I don't think so.
As a person who, I don't develop video games, but I do develop software in the finance.
And you are developing a video game, so you know.
But I'm saying at that scale. I'm just saying that level, in that corporate setting where you have product, you have business, you have clients, you have developers, and you have QA.
Yep.
Product will promise clients that we are going to release this new application or this new software update at this time. Development will say the entire time, you're out of your goddamn mind. It is not coming out that soon. And they will keep telling you that, and they'll be like, well, we made a commitment to the client, so here's some more money, here's some more resources. And then development says you can't just throw money and resources at every problem. And so what I'm saying is it wasn't ready, and there is no world of software development that will tell me that was not communicated to business and product who is promising things to their partners and clients. So I think I do think that they knew it wasn't going to come out, but development has to just say, okay, this is where we are, and product is just like, we got to show it because we promised it, even though they know it's not going to be ready, right?
Okay.
That is just, it is what it is. But the point is what it is.
That's right.
They could have put it out, and fixed it in post, like Cyberpunk 2077.
Which, by the way,
which would have in and of itself been a shit show.
Which
by the way, and we're gonna get to that because it's in the Game Awards. We're gonna get to that. That's another thing.
And it was a complete shit show, and it's getting honored.
But okay, so before we transition off this Halo point, let's have a bit more conversation about actually what we saw. Okay, like clearly we definitely saw like Friday evening, Friday morning, I should say. A bunch of embargoes were lifted. We saw a bunch of the campaign. You know, we some people have played 10 hours. I think Dealer said he played about 10 hours of it. You know, you got Jez saying he's now convinced. You know, he wasn't a Halo guy, but now he's a Halo guy. He's convinced. What did y'all say? I'll go to you, BitCloud, first. When all this stuff started happening, and you're a primarily PlayStation gamer, but you're a gamer in general. You could play this on PC. You could play this everywhere else. I'm sure this sparked some interest. What were your thoughts on the community itself coming out and saying, "Hey, this is what we saw"?
Oh Lord, so much you can go with this. Personally, looking at the situation, it feels like we're having this conversation every year. Is that with the Game Awards? Like every year, a game is not necessarily nominated that should have been there. For example, it's still a crime that Jedi Fallen Order is not at the Game Awards. It has not been honored. It's still a problem. But to move away from that.
Oh, and I'm sorry, before you continue, for those who have not checked out and there's a lot of footage out there for the Halo campaign and all of that. For those who have not checked out the Halo campaign footage and stuff, I recommend checking out the Iron Lords version. Lords of Gaming did a great job on it. They even did a video where they talked about it, this and that. Lots of great coverage out there. I thought this one was one of the best. So please go ahead and check it out. But yes, back to what you were saying. Halo Infinite campaign. People are like talking about it left and right. What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just getting to that campaign. Looking at the reaction, and looking at everything, it looks, again, seeing everybody's initial reaction now versus to what we got at the beginning when it was showing in its rougher edges is great. I see a lot of people saying Halo's back. Everybody's saying the fate's restored. It looks like it's going to be a great game. Again, my only gripe with the whole situation is, if only we could have done that from the start and avoided so much dumb stuff.
So much ridiculousness.
Right. You had so many conspiracies. Oh, Halo's going to be the last thing of all time. Oh, Microsoft, they're going out of business doing this. I'm sitting going, no, that's incompetence on a developer standpoint by showcasing a game that is not polished. That's just that. It's just that simple. So
not
seeing the game polished
standpoint, product standpoint.
Well, that did too.
Right, because it's the business side and product that decides they're going to show this shit, and all development could say this is where we are.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to. I would love to be a fly on the wall, everyone, just to hear that conversation of who approved to showcase Halo in that shape. I would just love to hear the guy, the genius. Hey guys, it looks good as this. Pull the trigger. I'm like,
pull the trigger.
Doesn't know.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? Have you seen these player bottles?
I am in these kinds of conversations. Obviously not 343, but in my work, I'm in these kinds of conversations the whole time, like all the time. I'm in these conversations where they're like, "Look, man, we got to do something. We got to give them something." And so I can only imagine if it's anything like the places. It's not. I'm not gonna throw my current job under the bus, but
see, I'm sorry, real quick.
Look good,
Slow-mo. You really think that Phil Spencer did not look at the game? You think he didn't even see it?
He had to look at it and probably was like, no, he probably looked at it and was like, you know what, his hype alone, just because it was ready to be shown, so to speak, that they thought it was ready to be shown. He was like, you know what, just go ahead and throw it out there. Yeah, sure, let's go ahead and surprise them. And then of course he didn't think logically in the back of the head there, or he probably didn't watch it all the way.
This man's on his square, man. He says he didn't think so. Okay.
Listen, and
the game was backfired.
A lot of people kind of discount, the impact and the breadth of I'm not even talking about the new Halo fans, right? Just the existing fan base that have been salivating for a new entry into the series is more than most blockbuster games out there, right? It is just that kind of a legacy franchise. Everybody talks about they hated Halo 5. That game sold 10 million within the first year and a half, right? And that was just on
it's at a respectable Metacritic still,
right? It's 84. Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima got an 83 the first time around, and they updated it to 88 with the Iki Island update. But I say all this to say, remember before the 2020 Xbox showcase when they just released an image with the music for Halo Infinite and people were going crazy.
Yeah.
Before the Craig debacle, I even saw guys like J-Dub, and I like J-Dub, saying like, would you guys accept me back into the Xbox?
Yeah, I remember that.
If the show goes
Hey,
on?
actually, it's funny you mentioned post this Halo campaign, we have Crap Gamer saying he's back with Xbox.
No, but this is what I'm
Oh,
saying. This
Lord.
is how big Halo
Oh
is,
man,
right?
yeah, the Halo effect. Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
So
You sure he's back with Xbox, or is he going to flip?
Oh,
and
he's
say,
just trolling as they
what
do.
was
You
that?
know,
What
it's
was
just
that?
hilarious.
He's
You
like,
know?
once God of War comes out, we'll
he's
see.
like, hey,
We'll see.
I'm with Xbox. Then 3 hours later, Xbox sucks. PlayStation.
Yeah, indeed. You know,
But-
it's
but-
ridiculous.
But again, you know, I think
I'm proud here.
I think
Well, y'all
people
can
who
have them.
think
Y'all can have them, remember? It's all yours.
the Xbox
He started with you. He
delegation
started with
would
you.
like
The
to
Xbox
trade-
delegation rejects his
would like to
his
trade
application.
Crap Gamer for BtCloudGaming.
Indeed.
No, but more seriously,
I remember that Chappelle skit, by the way. Good pull.
I got one foot in the door apparently for that, by the way. 'Cause I bet some dudes called me BotCloud because I didn't
Oh, I know.
slander the accent. That's what Slow-Mo was getting at, because some retards were calling me that. I was sitting going, really?
Oh
BotCloud?
man.
And my
But-
PSN shit's on yours?
but more seriously,
Uh-huh.
I think we are. See, this is the thing that is. They made a gamble, and I don't care what anybody says. They're not playing it safe with this Halo, right? They
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm moving along.
they made a gamble with the art style that they
Oh,
chose,
man.
That's cool.
right?
Yeah, true.
Because this
True.
art style, you have to see all the parts and see it in motion at the same time to understand it. Because if you look at what we've seen from this campaign gameplay and you watch it in 4K, and especially like I still think that the Slip Space engine struggles with foliage. I don't think it looks as vibrant as it does, but even in the later builds, remember I was complaining about how the pine trees seem static.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
that
Yeah.
made it feel dead. If you look at the builds from these latest videos, you can see some of the grass moving on the ground. Listen, it is not anywhere near Ghost of Tsushima or Last.
And they also
Yeah,
said
yeah, no,
they also
yeah.
said that those builds that they're playing are also pre-release builds. So there's still work being happening on the back end.
Right.
You know?
And
so we
but
so my point being, let's wait until we see the retail copy. You might be surprised.
100%. And you can see a little bit of the trees
It's
wafting
happening.
in the
It's
wind
happening.
now. So
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
lighting,
they are updating it.
all that stuff. It's
But-
up to date.
What I will say is where I think the Slip Space engine shines are in the interior sort of corridor style levels.
The
And I
Forerunner
think-
levels.
Right. I think it looks amazing in on the interior settings, right? And when you couple the gameplay that we can feel and know, we know how the game feels right now from the multiplayer. When you couple that in that environment and what everyone has explained about not being weighed down by the semi-open world effect, it is not really open world. It's just like each level that you play is a huge sandbox to the point where it feels like each level is its own mini open world, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea that you don't have to do these map cleaning things, you can play it in a linear fashion, also works. So from everything that I am seeing and I am hearing, the campaign looks to be just as good as the multiplayer in terms of gameplay, right? Mm-hmm. Now, there still were questions about the story, but from what everyone has been saying, including IGN, right? It seems like they are telling a very competent story. And maybe Slow-Mo is right. Joseph Staten came in and maybe kind of focused the story more, and the idea that this is a Master Chief story. So if we're going to have an engaging story, we're going to have these new abilities like the repulsor and this whole equipment and these RPG elements to fundamentally change the Halo experience while still making it feel true to its roots.
Yep.
I think that is an act of strange alchemy that almost no one could pull off in today's industry. And I have never been more, well, maybe Halo 3, but this is like the most hype I've been for any Halo since Halo 3. And
True.
that is saying something. And universally, it is being praised.
It is being played universally. Yes.
This is
if you're not an IGN follower, ILP's video, Lord Cognito was vocal in his, because he was also one of those who really disliked Halo 5. He was pleasantly surprised. He's all in. People are all, by and large, anyone who's had their hands to play it, even in its pre-release state, is very happy with what they're seeing so far. People are all in on this game. And that's where I remember. Admittedly, that's what excites me.
No.
Yes, that's what excites me.
Didn't take that right.
Because I love campaign. I'm more campaign than multiplayer. So this stuff here is where I am like, yes, let's do this, because I am so ready to play this. And they're 10 hours in, and many haven't even gotten to the heart of the matter yet, which tells you that's going to be a long, meaty campaign. BtCloud, go.
No, it was crazy because when before we got to here, I said basically Halo is in the best shape that it's in right now going into release. The reason why Call of Duty is pretty much played out, and people are fatigued now with Battlefield. So what really is going to stop them from making an impression, so to speak, from this? And now you're seeing just the reaction. But again, like I said, just imagine all this that we're getting now, this good praise. Imagine we did that. Imagine with it now without the botch. That was the first reveal. That would have been so much more. And that's the thing too. It's like, this is your staple. It's your key franchise.
I hope moving forward they take this as a lesson.
Exactly.
Be strategic in your showings.
This is the only Halo we're going to get this generation, because they're going to keep evolving it.
So why not treat it like an event, Everborn?
No, you're 100% right. And this is why I say it should have been a blog post. They should have took it, because they had to take. They were going to take the L from their partners anyway. Do the same blog post that Sony did. Look, we're sorry. We tried, and people would have believed them in 2020.
Exactly. That would have been an L for sure. That would have been an L for them. But guess what? It wouldn't have been a substantial L like we got when we first saw this. It would have been like a minor blemish type of thing. Okay, well. We're going to get it.
Well, but then it would have been very bad for them for the first year of the series console. It would have been very.
Considering that a lot of stuff got plagued by COVID, I really don't.
Yeah,
think it would have
no, you're right. You're right. That would have been a good excuse to get. Yes.
You could have blamed it on COVID and nobody.
Because Dying Light 2, Santi, it should have already happened. It should have had Dying Light.
True.
That's pushed back.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So as for me, I was super excited to see all the information that they put out there. People are very excited. It doesn't seem like it's too surprising where they're going. I do want to know what happened to Cortana and all that stuff. That stuff is still kind of under wraps, but everything they're saying is what you want to hear them say. At this point, I just kind of want to see the campaign. At this point, that's where I am. Let's see that campaign.
My only sort of regret in all of this, and it's not a regret for me, it's a regret for 343, is that how you said, like, okay, this year's a misstep for COD, and Battlefield is not doing what everybody hoped it would do. Like, had they hit the date for the Game Awards, I think this could have been a shoo-in. Look at the nominees.
Yeah.
Right?
Most anticipated game. It would have made it for sure.
It would have made it, but I think it could have won.
Are we sure about that?
Look, okay, what are we going against?
I mean, we got Elden Ring, most anticipated game.
Well, you know what? It's interesting. Hold on. So y'all are talking about the game awards. So let's switch to the Game Awards, because that's where that's the big story we're going to talk about anyway. So let's switch to the Game Awards.
Takes Two, you got Metroid, you got Deathloop, you got what else is on the Game of the Year?
What's the other?
Let's see. There's three more. There you go.
Resident Evil, Ratchet and Clank, Psychonauts.
You telling me this Halo Infinite couldn't win it against these?
Well, okay. So here's my question. Here's my question to you, Everborn. Which one do you remove in order to put Halo Infinite? Think about it.
Metroid Dread alone is gonna.
Metroid Dread, you cannot touch that. You can't touch it.
Metroid Dread.
It Takes Two has been known far and wide as the co-op game of choice.
For everyone who played Deathloop, I haven't played it. but
Okay.
just based on the way
Mm-hmm.
whether people are still talking about it. I know people were hot on it at the time. I think you could take off Deathloop and replace it with Halo.
See, Deathloop is I wouldn't say.
I'm not
disagree.
saying that from experience.
No,
but I have not played Deathloop.
Here's my counter. To take
Go ahead,
Deathloop off would be criminal, because Deathloop is a new experience. It's one of those games that, again, how to explain it? It's one of those games that forces you to pay attention, for one, because you're going to be playing a lot of the same missions over and over, because there's a looping type of thing, right? But you're getting bits and pieces and clues to progress the story further and get more and better stuff. Mm-hmm.
So to your point, I think I describe it as it's a little bit 12 minutes, and a little bit Returnal.
Yes.
It's
like
12 minutes gameplay. People loop, people puzzle, and Returnal gameplay loop. Right, and they kind of did better in both aspects.
I gotta take a call with a lawyer really quick.
Okay, go for it, bro.
The rules of being a landlord, but
hopefully you get back soon. Go ahead. No worries. So yes, I think that you're right in that taking Deathloop out, especially in this year, would have been a bit of a travesty, because they did do something unique and good. In other years where there's a dearth of where there's a dearth of like cinematic type games, because we know what the Game Awards is about. They favor the cinematics, they favor the third person, right? This fits that frame very well, and it does new things. Right? Yeah. So again, my question is just
go ahead. What I love about it more too is the cast. The casting for this game was fantastic. Like every dialogue you love. Like dude who plays Cole, who's nominated for best actor. Also did really, really well. Just like Juliana, I think everybody did great in the game. It was great.
Ad-libbing, oh my god! Like, okay, and I'll say it because he's here. When I was playing Deathloop, when I played it to completion, it's like having slow-mo backslap talking ish in your ear while you play. That's what it sounded like. Same voice and everything. He sounds like slow-mo a little bit. Like the trash talk, it's hilarious.
He doesn't sound when he talks, though. Slow-mo got that tired voice. This man is energetic. There you go.
Seriously, and I said this when I first started playing. It's like having slow-mo in your ear while you're shooting people, and he's just talking mess left and right. It was hilarious. So I do believe he deserves the award for he deserves at least to be nominated for the voice acting that he did.
He's nominated. He's got it. More likely it might go.
And Slow-Mo is like, yes, I agree with you, good sir. You and Umbra, y'all both need to get into voice acting for sure.
He might lose though to Lady Demetress, Maggie. He might lose.
Yeah. People just want that woman to sit on him. That's all they want. That's what they want. And they'll give her an award just to get that feeling across. But okay, so and I know Everborn can't answer the question, but seriously,
it takes
what do you remove? That's right. It Takes Two is by and large the best co-op game, co-op idea we've had in a long time. So it deserves to be there. It deserves. So these three are a lock.
They're not going nowhere.
These three are a lock. And I'm not the hugest Metroid Dread fan, but still it's a lock. It's still a lock. Okay. Then we have these three.
Psychonauts, no way. They're not removing Psychonauts. Psychonauts actually had a good impact with Xbox.
Exactly.
And people are still talking about it. Deserves that.
Yeah. And it's a multi-plat game.
Yeah, multi-plat. Yeah. Ratchet and Clank. I mean, come on. Ratchet and Clank, despite it being a Ratchet and Clank game, Ratchet and Clank made a lot of waves for a lot of people for PS5. It really showcased the next.
Yeah, it really showed them what they could do with it and all of that. Yeah. Although, let's be fair here, the thing that they promoted as Ratchet and Clank was doing was kind of funny money marketing, because they didn't really push the SSD as they said they did. That's been dispelled already, right? You can even run that on last gen M.2s and it runs just as good. But the money was on the screen. You could see it.
It wasn't as hectic. Like for the only time Ratchet and Clank really felt like it turned it up a notch. Crazy, like really turned it up and went all out was in the final boss fight. I don't know if you played the game, but the final boss
fight, I beat it. Yeah.
Remember I'm talking about we fight the Ferris and everything's like really
and everything's crazy and
I'm like, that's how you should be doing every game.
Cool.
Fight. Because that was crazy. There was so much stuff happening. But that was the only time I was like, yo, damn, that's
the only time where you could see they even kind of put a little bit. But see, and then of course we have Resident Evil Village, which by and large has been like
this is easily one of the best Resident Evils new ones that we've gotten in a long time. Like
exactly.
When I played this, and I interviewed the entire cast, and they're not again not sponsored to say this. I loved every last one of them. Katie O'Hagan, Becca Pruitt. Even I even interviewed Lady.
This is the time when I say if you have not gone and checked out Mr. BtCloud's interviews, you need to do yourself a favor. Type that name into your YouTubes and go and start watching the back catalog, because there's a lot of good stuff in there, including interviews with the entire cast of Resident Evil Village. I'm sorry, sir. Continue.
I even interviewed Lady Dimitrescu, the face model, and she
there you go,
amazing one. But
yes,
interviewing them and then playing that game and then seeing how big of a leap it is from 7. Resident Evil 7, I didn't get scared. I think I told y'all this on Boom Shot. I never got really frightened for 7. The only time that kind of jumped once or twice was with the scene with the dad. You know what I'm saying? When the dad comes in all goofy, he breaks the table, he starts chasing break the walls. And then it didn't really live up to that anymore because it kind of just turned into a traditional survival game afterwards. This one, I was like, bro, this joint is just good. It felt like Resident Evil 4 in first person. There was a lot more heart, it felt like, in Resident Evil Village, and I love Village. So the fact that Village is on here, it deserves to be on here. Will it win Game of the Year? Personally, this might shock a lot of people. I surprised a lot of people when I said it. I think you saw it when I did my little review of the whole thing. I was like, my Game of the Year is not a PS5 game at all. It's really Resident Evil. I enjoyed the hell out of Resident Evil like that much this year.
So you think that Resident Evil Village should win Game of the Year?
I actually do. I think it does. Like, Deathloop's cool for the idea. It's a nice new addition to the game space, and I do think they did great with what they did. And
Arcane has a great story to tell, from almost being shut down to now creating a game that was nominated for Game of the Year.
It's
that's
fantastic.
A good story.
Like the team behind this needs to be given a pay raise and immediately greenlit for whatever sequel. If they want to do a Deathloop 2 or they want to do something else, they need to be greenlit. They knocked it out the park with Deathloop. I thought Deathloop was really creative, and I even platinum Resident Evil twice, Resident Evil twice. So it's definitely worth that. It Takes Two is another good game that was ironically made by the guy who gave us the FD Oscars.
Indeed, yes,
indeed. Dude, but he gave us
Hazelight Studios. Very interesting game.
Yeah, the fact that this game is nominated does that man justice, I think, personally.
Indeed, I agree wholeheartedly. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to. It's already done. It's already sold it for people. And if you haven't played that yet, the only problem with it is you have to play it with someone else. And I know that's difficult for some, but it is a damn good game that needs to be experienced. And actually, you buy one copy and you get the other copy for free for whoever you want to play it with.
Yeah, they get like a stable copy, but they don't get no achievements. They have to own it, which is smart. It kind of reminds me of that game. It kind of reminds me of the game A Way Out. Remember that game A Way Out?
Which is also from them. Yeah,
it kind of
same idea. So okay, while we're still on this. Let's address a bit of the drama before we move on to the other categories, right? There's been some drama where why wasn't Returnal put on the Game of the Year list? Do you agree or disagree?
I agree, and I've interviewed the sound engineer for that game and had a amazing.
You think it should have been part of the Game of the Year conversation?
So Returnal is getting honored for the stuff that it should be getting honored for. If that makes sense. Sound design in Returnal is some of the best I've heard in the video game. Visuals, it looks great. It's a great game.
It does look great. Yeah.
For Returnal to have hit Game of the Year, first of all, Returnal didn't even sell the market numbers that Sony was expecting it. So Sony said it did good. It did better than expectations. That's not saying much, and that's not the proper term that you want to look forward to. Dudes want a damage control, but it's so this compared to this many consoles. Ratchet and Clank sold over 1 million. In record time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it stopped. Like, no, Returnal did not make the impact that it should have made based off of the hype that it was given for said game. Those that played the game, especially like me, day one, we will tell you that initial first week for the game before the patch started to come out and stuff like that was probably one of the most frustrating weeks for the game. I'm gonna tell you why. The game crashed.
I dropped off the game and came back to it later. Yeah,
the game crashed. You lose in progress because of it crashing. You glitches.
It reminds you back in the day when in Nintendo when you have to like turn your TV off, but keep the Nintendo on. God forbid somebody turn it off. You come back and you have to restart your run.
Glitches
It was back in
with your
those
saves,
situations.
all that
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Like I had to play the game twice just to platinum that game, but I enjoyed the hell out of
Mhm.
it. But it's funny though, looking back at Housemarque. Housemarque again. This is why I love Housemarque.
I love Housemarque.
They
Yeah,
have
I
good
love.
sense of
They are
humor. They know
the
exactly.
kings of.
Yeah,
Yep.
they know exactly where I'm coming from. Where I said if they were watching this, they will understand it completely. Like that's why I'm such good terms with them. But they understood. They even understood my frustration when I first said like my concerns going into the game, right? Because when we first started to see it, we didn't know much about it. We didn't see much marketing for it. That's another thing Sony didn't really do justice for.
They didn't push it as much.
Yeah,
as
they didn't push it marketing wise. So. The fact that the game is not nominated for Game of the Year, despite again, it's got some good accolades, absolutely. But the fact that it's not Game of the Year does not surprise me at all. And no, I don't think it was snubbed. It didn't get the proper reception.
They are getting some good. They are getting some good awards where you think they deserve, and that's true.
Sound design,
snub, definitely. Okay, but it's I hear you on that. What about and these people? This is a conversation that's being had. We're not going to take too much time, but what about Forza Horizon 5? What is your opinion on that?
So, I get it, and we had this conversation on Boom Show, and I think we were on something here. If you look at the games on this list of Game of the Years, they kind of fall into what me and Kay Asante pretty much
specific categories
as a template. Eraser has never been on this template.
Yep.
So let's say if Forza was something like a GTA, if it had GTA elements with action-packed sequences.
If you could get out and you could talk to somebody in a real story way, that would change the equation.
It would be on this category. But since it's a racer and it focuses on other aspects, they believe it needs to be honored in those aspects versus as an overall game for Game of the Year. So I know a lot of people might be going, oh, it's snubbed for that. Honestly, this is Jeff's show. I always look at it as Jeff's show, and Jeff follows a specific formula. That's why, his shows never really change. He always have like the big long waits in between these crazy concert show pieces, right, for the games. Like to further add on to this, look at Red Dead 2 versus God of War, right? If you were a betting man, you would think that Red Dead 2 was going to walk away with all the awards for the amount of time and effort that was put into the presentation of each particular thing, especially the little musical performances. Yeah, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how Jeff rose. So the fact that it was not on here, it's going to be honored in other ways. But for Game of the Year, do I think it was snubbed? No, that's just how the formula goes with Game Awards. And I know a lot of people might be going, but that's not fair. Well, guess what? This is not really our Game of the Year show. This is kind of Jeff's show. And I need you to understand that.
And you know what?
People's choice and a choice from Jeff Keighley. Yeah.
So that's where I want to, for a moment, have a quick conversation with the audience, a quick conversation with folks that we've been talking about. I completely agree wholeheartedly with every point you've made, BtCloud.
Yeah.
And I know people are angry about it. Me personally, I think Forza doesn't care. They're going to be all right. They're out there. They're doing what they're doing, even when they're not necessarily. They are the MCU of the game, right? MCU will never get that Oscar love, but they've taken it to the bank every single time, and they could give 2 SHITs, right? But we who love these game awards and hold them in high esteem, we need to start recognizing that this is not our game awards, as you've said. This is Jeff's game awards, and I respect the hell out of Jeff. I actually got to meet Jeff Keighley at Comic-Con way back in the day in California. Great dude, doing a lot for the industry, right?
Yeah.
But we need to understand what this is. This is his agenda, taking it to where he wants to take it to. He wants to show gaming to Hollywood and say, "Hey, look at us." You talked about Last of Us 2 when I said this last time. Look at us. We can create, quality art, right? And certain genres don't fit into that frame, in his opinion, right? And because of that, we'll never see this. But I agree with you, Umbra. I agree with you, Beast Mode. A game is a game. This is gatekeeping, all of that. I agree with you. And the way to attack it is not to get angry at Jeff, because he's doing what he feels necessary with his show. Yeah. We need to start dethroning these gods, if you will, and find other sources who do promote what you want and put them up there. You know,
best
if
way
you
to
don't
add
like
more to
Metacritic,
that-
go to OpenCritic, kind of a
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
The best way to add more to that too, Beast Mode, because you're saying, you know, stop the gatekeeping. Just look at how far video games legit. I know this might sound cliche, me saying that, but look how far video games have come, and then you compare them to their movie-like counterparts. Look at Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man with all the villains on the screen, and then look at what was achieved in 2018 with Spider-Man on the PS4, and then know what you're going to get in PS5, especially with Wolverine, right? All that stuff that you're seeing in these cinematic like movies is now achievable in games. So therefore, Jeff sees it as an opportunity to go, well, Hollywood can do this, but guess what? Video games can do that, if not better on the one side.
That's right.
And we can do this on a bigger and on bigger scale because we can get into more homes and that constantly be in the pipe in the memory because they're constantly played because replayability. So that's the thing that Jeff sees.
He's promoting video games to the normal, to the casual, to
Hollywood.
As a that's right. So anyway, like we won't belabor the point too much. I'm just saying in general, you know, take this for what it is. Yeah. Is there some unfairness in there? I agree wholeheartedly. I agree, dude, but they don't need the promotion. Forza doesn't need the promotion, right? And this should be a lesson for those of you who hold the Game Awards in high regard and consider it the Game Awards, right? It's not the Game Award, it's a Game Award. Let's find some other Game Awards who may be conformed to our liking. And Everborn, you just showed up right on time.
What did I miss?
Right on time. Before
if it was the true Our Game Awards, like if it was true ours and not just,
there'd be more than 10% of our voting block.
Not only that,
be a lot more than 50%.
There will be one game on this list that I believe got truly snubbed.
Don't say Returnal. Don't say Returnal.
And that game he didn't. No. And the game that got snubbed, and that is 2 years straight, is Jedi Fallen Order. That game should be on this list, not just for soundtrack, not just for game of the year, not just for story or narrative. This game for cast as well. The guy who played the Jedi and hell, the dude who did well, I ain't gonna say it, but you know who I'm talking about. All those characters should be involved into this game award.
Oh no, I agree.
It should be something special. Unfortunately, they did not do that. So therefore, that should tell you something about this being your game of the award. It's not your game of the award.
And Beast Mode, about your complaint with the jury, see that to me, it's just like, and we'll take a quick diversion here. It's just like we heard right now recently, right? Kamiya came out and spoke about how he apologizes for not being able to take Scalebound where it was supposed to go and blah 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 blah. Until he came out and said this, you wouldn't have heard this from Phil Spencer. Why? Because he's the leader of the
he doesn't run Square Enix?
Stop it. Okay. So he took all the arrows. He took all the arrows as the leader, right? And then later on, of course, we now hear more information as to what happened in the back end. The reason why Jeff gets that righteous smoke is because he is the leader of this ship, right? Yeah, it's by a jury, but he controls that jury. He puts people on that jury block, right? So my issue with the Game Awards in general is that the fundamental systems they have in place that chooses this is broken. More voices from the community need to be heard, not just a select few that he has chosen. And those select few that's part one. Those select few seem to skew in the direction he wants. And part two is, if it's the Game Awards for 2021, all of the games for 2021 need to be considered, not just the ones that hit till November 4th. Right? Yeah. Because we are now in a world where game studios are dropping games. Summer is not a lull anymore. February is crowded every time. Like at the beginning of the year, people were convinced that Hitman 3 would be on this list. Where is it? It's nowhere on this list, right? They need to do a fundamental reworking of how the Game Award works. And if they do that, then it can still be our Game Awards. Until they do, it's Jeff's. And when you watch it and it's fun, and I'll continue to watch it, but I will watch it knowing all that in mind, right? So let's move on real quick. But before we do, Everborn, I know you didn't play every game on this list, right? We were having this conversation.
The only game I haven't played on this list is Deathloop, because I'm waiting for it to come to Game Pass, because my backlog is crazy, and I know it'd be another one that I buy and not play until it was on Game Pass. Like I did with Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
So basically, to catch you up, what we were talking about is basically Returnal has no place on this list because every other game on this list kind of belongs here, right? And actually, neither does Forza Horizon 5. I would argue if we wanted to pull one, I would argue that Ratchet and Clank could be pulled because this is the best iteration of the exact same game over and over and over again. Well, but even that is a stretch.
I'm glad you brought up the Forza Horizon thing.
Yeah.
What are your Forza Horizon? But its thunder was taken by Halo, and now Sonic.
No, but that's
right.
No, you're wrong because let me hold on.
It's thunder for me. I'm not talking about the larger audience.
Yes, but the larger audience. But before you continue, that larger audience, when Halo was announced and released, Forza still grew. It went from 8 to 10. After
I understand
Halo
that.
came
I'm not
out.
talking about everybody else. I'm just saying for me.
Yes.
So I'm not throwing any smoke at Forza's way. But we see this every year with every awards, and I'm talking about Academy Awards and things like that. I believe that every game on this list is deserving. So you have to say who, and I put a poll out about this. I got like 4,000 votes. Okay. Who do you take off if you want to
exactly?
Forza
we had this
here?
Conversation,
and you have to
there
say
is no
that
one you can take
guys
off.
Is non-deserving. I mean, my poll had 35% voting for Ratchet, but it wasn't like overwhelming, but that had the largest number of votes.
Well,
but
the reason why also my honest reason why I would think if there's anyone, it's Ratchet. It's because Ratchet has many iterations that do this exact thing. It's never been as good as this. It's never been as shiny as this. But like if you play the last one that's in the PlayStation Plus collection, you get the same vibes as you do here.
Couldn't you say the same about Forza?
Yes, you could. Exactly.
But then that means you can't replace Forza for
exactly. That's why it's a stretch. So okay.
But Halo on the other hand.
Stop it. Stop it. You don't know that because you haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I saw
So I agree, and Slow-Mo's right. So I agree that Forza specifically is not the problem. I have a fundamental problem with the system of the Game Awards itself, but we've already beaten that one to death. What I will say though is, for my vote, so we've had BitCloud's vote. BitCloud's vote is Resident Evil. What I would want to win is Psychonauts 2. Why? Because Double Fine deserves it. They really do.
That's not a reason for
but I
think
win, okay. But the game itself deserves it. The game itself deserves it. As well as the monumental studio that is Double Fine. But I do agree also that Resident Evil Village will win. What is your in this list here that you're looking at? Where do you think the winner will come? And we'll come back and see this after when we've seen the Game Awards.
Resident Evil Village is the safest choice for the Game Awards.
Is it your choice?
Is it my choice?
I'm not talking about what it should win. I already told you. I think Psychonauts 2 should win, but I think Resident Evil will win. What is your choice?
I think, this is my analytical guess, right?
Yeah.
I would have to go with Psychonauts 2.
Do you think Psychonauts 2 will win?
Yes.
Okay, speak on it.
I think it was an industry darling, the game itself. I think people, the people who are voting on this look at Tim Schafer as a treasure.
Yes, as he is.
I think it brought back a lot of nostalgia feels.
Yep.
I think it was probably the most creative on this list.
Look at that psychedelic level and tell me it's not.
Right. And I think that it is the most out there, and I think it was talked about more than any game on this list, save for Ratchet, but that's because Ratchet was tied to the next gen consoles, and everybody was kind of looking at it as this is Ratchet was put up there as a showcase, not necessarily for its substance, but more for its technical acumen and what it's showing. So I think
hardware push.
I think in all of the categories of what you think may end up being the deciding factor.
Oh yeah, so I've submitted.
Psychonauts wins.
I placed my vote for Resident Evil.
Are we
although I
marking
agree
this
with
down
you
to see who's right?
I don't have. I'm not marking it. This is live video, Bray. We're gonna go back and we can do it later.
You know what? I'll make an Excel spreadsheet right now.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, because we coming back to this.
Spreadsheet. Yeah, for sure. Hold up. All right, so we did that, and then the next category. All right, so next category, best game direction.
But you chose.
I chose Resident Evil Village.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I didn't choose what my heart said. I chose what my head said. That's where I'm going. Okay. My heart says my heart's with you, but my head says nah, man. Resident Evil.
Oh, but my head is the one that chooses. What do you call it? It's Psychonauts.
Psychonauts.
I think it was I think it was a media like a critic darling.
No, hey,
I think
if you are right, I will be happy that you are right because I don't think it'll win, but I hope you're right. But okay, so here we are. We are now at best game direction, the creative innovation in game design and direction. Okay, now this one for me, it's tough, man, because Deathloop is really square.
It's high up on that list.
Yeah, for game direction and design, because that game is designed so well.
Yeah,
it is so well. Everborn, you weren't here when we were having this conversation. I know you haven't really played it. Deathloop is 12 minutes.
I haven't played it at all.
Okay, I describe Deathloop as the people puzzle, which is 12 minutes with Returnal gameplay. It's a combination of both, and by and large, it does both better than either of them. So, specifically in this direction and design category, they do such good work that I really think they might take it. But of course, It Takes Two is also damn good how they integrate those two different whole halves to kind of keep the game very much in a multiplayer co-op direction, right? Well, let's start with you, BtCloud. Where do you think this will fall? Because I don't think Psychonauts 2 or Ratchet and Clank will be in this cat. They are there, but they will not. They don't have a chance compared to these other three.
For game direction, Ratchet is more, like we said earlier, is more of the same, just at a higher or faster,
higher the level. Yes.
So that's not it. So Psychonauts as well, not really there. It Takes Two is cool because the co-op, it's a nice nice way of going about it, but I wouldn't put It Takes Two in the driver's seat for this one. It would either be Deathloop or Returnal.
I'm with you. Yes.
Returnal. The reason why I say Returnal had everything going for it. It had everything like perfectly executed. It's just obviously the botched launch is what screwed up the initial look of it. And that's the reason why it's not in Game of the Year. If it would have had a perfect launch and proper advertisement, I think that would have been Game of the Year.
Don't you think that Deathloop kind of outdoes Returnal at its own game a little bit? Because it's the same kind of looping mechanic, but theirs is a bit more approachable than Returnal was.
There's a little bit more, I would say, casual, right? Like the way it's open. Like you kind of get it. Like, okay, you died, it's over. The way Returnal does it, right? Returnal does it in like that perfect cinematic sci-fi like way. Like, for example, if you die, you get like those crazy little snippets of cutscenes, and it comes super fast, and it looks like something It looks like something from that movie. Ironically, they said they got inspiration for this, but they it's basically the same as that movie with Alien Covenant. The movie that came out before it. Prometheus.
I love that movie.
It's basically like
was
Prometheus.
Garbage.
Yeah, but it's basically Prometheus in terms of the cuts. And I agree. Yeah, Covenant was trash.
BtCloud, sorry, real quick. For Game of the Year, who'd you choose?
Resident Evil.
Okay.
Resident Evil. Yeah. He's writing this thing down.
I'm making receipts, like as we speak. We're gonna check this.
Bro, it's on. This is in the archive, bro. You know,
but I don't want to have to go back and run through the video.
Okay. No. Cool. Yes. No, I feel you. It's good. So, okay, BtCloud, of these choices, right? And your explanation as to this being between Deathloop and Returnal, I am 100% there with you. Of these choices, who do you think will take it?
Personally, I love the hell out of Deathloop, but I think Returnal. This is probably one of those main areas where I think Returnal can walk away with it. It's either this or sound design. It's really really,
Mhm.
really good for both ends. Like
Mm.
Deathloop is super close. It's super close. It's done well. They had like those cool little hints, like little highlighted words to tell you what the little joking that they do. I personally do think though Returnal might steal that for game direction.
Okay. So in this instance, and Evo, you'll come up next. In this instance, my heart tells me that Deathloop will take it. But my head tells me that Returnal will probably take it. It's between the two of them
I
because
don't know, man. I feel like you're just following what BitCloud says because you think
no,
he's good at predicting these things.
not at all, not at all. For real, because I played both, right? I've played both,
You
and
gotta
like
play
I
it
told
to
you,
really understand their strengths and their weaknesses.
yes, and like I told you, Returnal and Deathloop, they have a similar mechanic, right? But the difference between Returnal and Deathloop is Deathloop seems to explain it better and like lay it out easier for you to understand, whereas Returnal was militant in its repetition, right? It gives you no quarter at all. Oh, you fail, back to square one. Oh, 3-hour run, you fail, back to square one. Whereas Deathloop would kind of ease you into the game loop. And of course, you have that dude in your ear. There's a lot of swagger on the screen. There's a lot of it's dripping with storytelling, right? I think Deathloop will take this one. I think so. Although I can see my cynical brain going, they have to throw a bone at Returnal because it didn't get Game of the Year, so they might give them this one. Even though there are other categories where Returnal really does deserve it, sound design and other things. So in this case, I will vote with my heart, and I'm saying Deathloop. Okay, now Everborn, what is your choice?
I'm gonna go Psychonauts again.
You're going Psychonauts. You're with Big Bad Mo saying Psychonauts will sweep.
I think that, yes.
Okay. So you're writing this down then, right? So we have one vote for Returnal, one vote for Deathloop, and you're Psychonauts again.
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
Next category. All right. Now, best narrative. Best narrative. Okay. Now, Deathloop's narrative, in my opinion, was good, but it was easily confusing because of all the looping, right?
Yeah.
And they hand you new bits of information in a very small way. You can play this game for hours, hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again until you do that one thing they needed you to do, and then a new nugget of data is presented to you.
It could be very confusing for a newer player too.
That's right. That's right. So I don't think that the way the narrative was doled out was challenging. So that's the bug that bit 12 minutes, right? The narrative was dripped out in a very challenging way, and if you don't do it in a certain right order, you have to remember, oh yeah, this was said way long ago, and now this will be available. So because of that, I don't think Deathloop will take it. I think It Takes Two is a nice, beautiful narrative, but it's kind of one-sided. It's about topics that maybe not everybody's about, and you won't get to experience it unless you have somebody who's committed to playing the entire game with you. That is a bit detrimental in my opinion.
Yeah.
Life is Strange, I hear, has I saw Slow-Mo playing it and a few other people. I actually thought it was a very interesting idea where they're going with it, but I don't know why it's on this list. I don't think it rises to this caliber. Personally, I don't think it does.
That's kind of always been the bits and pieces of Life is Strange. I played a good chunk of them. I played the first two. No, actually, first three. Life is Strange 1, Before the Storm, and 2. And I thought all three of them were good in terms of narrative. So that's what their main. It's kind of like the Telltale games, right? Like it's like that. Like
it is next level Telltale game. Yes, I've always thought so. See, for me in this category, it's either between Guardians of the Galaxy or Psychonauts 2. And Guardians of the Galaxy is criminally left off this list, I think, and we've already established the fact that Game of the Year was a tight enough ship and they couldn't have been more added. If I saw Guardians of the Galaxy on Game of the Year, I would not be surprised because it's just that damn good. It really is. The story, Boom was just here. He said it. James Gunn level writing, like hilarious. I don't know who hasn't played it on this Bit. Have you played this?
Nah. I've not played it.
Oh, bro.
I heard good things.
If you enjoy any kind of Marvel thing at all, this is so right for playing. And actually, PSA to those who don't know, it's almost $30 now because of Black Friday and all that on whichever platform you choose.
I
You can play
almost
it on
cursed
PS5.
again.
You know what's
because I did
criminal
it
about it,
again.
though? The marketing
What's
for
that?
the game has been very criminal for.
But honestly, I think what screwed that was Marvel's Avengers. Because the same publishing house did that, and it ended, and that got such a splash. And then it people played it and saw it was not what they purported it to be. So now it's like, see, there you go. Slow-mo's like, it will win Best Narrative. I think it deserves it. It's very good, like so good, just so good. You're literally playing the damn film, and the best part about it is it's not even limited by the films because the films don't get to show you like real Marvel characters. They don't get to show you like, mutants and this and that. They're only limited by the MCU, whereas this game is not limited by the MCU. This deserves so many accolades, and I think if Marvel's Avengers had not come out and this was the first one that they put that big marketing push behind, it would be way higher on people's lists.
They definitely nailed Rocket. I took that as a big positive from the game.
Oh, bro, they nailed all of them.
Yeah,
they nailed all of them. I saw Star-Lord and I was like, oh, get this cookie cutter character out of here. And then I played it and I'm like, all right, I take it back. It's so good. It really is.
It's criminal that the Avengers game has the Black
ruined it
as like a DLC. Yes. When I first saw that thing DLC, I'm sitting going, why isn't this not something that Rocksteady is making? And it's a AAA budget open world game, full freedom. It looked 14 times better. It will look 14.
This game is criminally underrated. It is now half price. People got to go buy that game. I was going to actually buy it on. I bought it on PC.
I thought that the game didn't look good because now it's 1080p. And now
which game is this?
Terrible.
Which game is this? Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that stupid story. If you're a Marvel fan of any stripe and you're not playing this, you're doing yourself a disservice. I think it's between these two, and in this instance, I will vote for that because I think that those who played it know what I'm talking about. Now, Everborn, what is your opinion? Which one do you think will win? Of course, you're going to go Psychonauts 2.
Where did you two guys go so I can mark it down?
I went Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I have not asked BitCloud yet. Okay. I'm going to you next.
It's definitely not Deathloop. Deathloop is good. Narrative wise, no, it's not.
The narrative delivery wasn't great. Yeah,
it's not because there's just the constant times where people just like do the same thing and miss the snippets, and then it comes off wrong, and then you'll miss it, and it looks weird. So no, not for Deathloop. Life is Strange, I would say, is a high competitor for it because that's what that game is built upon.
It's all about narrative, yeah.
So yeah, it would be either Life is Strange or, and judging from what I'm hearing from Guardians, I would throw Guardians on the list. So really, if I was the betting man, I'd probably say Guardians more so, since that seems to be the sleeper hit for everybody.
Okay, so Everborn, what is your choice? We have two for Guardians. And if you say Psychonauts 2 in this category, I will agree with you because that's the only other competitor in this category, in my opinion.
I'm going Psychonauts 2 again.
And there he goes. He's talking.
Listen, every time I go to Vegas, I just bet on black.
He's putting all the chips. He's putting the chips in the middle of the board. All right, cool. And in this instance, if it wins, I would really be happy because it's also a great narrative.
Now, the analytical guy or the cynical guy or whatever that's kind of reading the tea leaves says the dark horse here is Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
I would have chosen it, but I haven't played it, so I cannot say that for sure. But going by what I've heard about it, it seems like that will be the upset win in this one. So if I was hedging my bets, I would say Life is Strange. But I'm on the Psychonauts 2 train. So
no,
we'll see.
And of the categories, I think Psychonauts 2 is a strong contender here because it's also all about narrative. They play with this playful tone while delivering really heavy stuff, like really, really dark, heavy stuff. And they deliver it in such a masterful way. So I agree with you that Psychonauts 2 could very much take this. They're shrouding They're shrouding the medicine in nice sugar for you, so it really works.
And BtCloud, you went with Guardians, correct?
He went with Guardians as well. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So far, you two guys have chosen the same thing in every category. And I've chosen Psychonauts for
and you can't blame me this time for choosing his because I chose mine first. So there you go.
Okay, sure.
So there you go. Now, best art direction. This one is
a difficult one.
This is actually a little easy for me.
Difficult. Is it? Okay, you first then, BtCloud.
That's a little easy
Which
for
one?
me. All right, so Deathloop's not it. Deathloop's great. It's a beautiful game.
It's great, but it's not it. Yeah.
The Artful Escape is another beautiful game. Not it though.
You sure about that?
I wouldn't say it's Artful Escape. In fact, I might shock you. I might shock you when I say this. It's not Ratchet Clank neither. I wouldn't say it's Ratchet Clank. Ratchet Clank.
You think it's Kena?
Great. I think it's Kena. Kena looks more like a Pixar film than anything I've seen in a long time. That and Ratchet. I think those two are the shoe-ins.
Okay.
If I was a betting man, I'd say Kena, but
it
could be the Artful Escape, but I'm gonna say Kena is winning that.
Okay. All right. And how about you, Everborn?
I am gonna go with
because this is a tough one, bro. I agree that Ratchet and Clank won't be it because it's much more of the same. It's just shinier version of the same. So we'll put that to the side. Kena is special, but Ratchet is also but Psychonauts 2 here. Like all I keep saying is that look at that psychedelic level, and actually that's what you're looking at in the screen here. The psychedelic level, that thing deserves magic. It is magic at that level. But then there's the Artful Escape, which the whole damn game is that psychedelic level. The whole game is Psychonauts 2's psychedelic level. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. They are so good with the art on the Artful Escape. It is all art. The whole thing. When I was playing that game, every 5 minutes I'd pause, take a screenshot, and put it on the internet, and people just lose their minds. That whole game is an art piece. You don't even play the game. You just keep walking. You keep walking right and hitting your shred guitar and just seeing all the crazy art on display. You know, the people with broccoli growing out of their heads. It's just insane, that game. You know, so that's what makes it difficult. To me, it's
let me ask you a question.
Escape,
let me
Kena
ask you
or
a question
Psychonauts
about
2. Yeah,
that's too many choices. Psychonauts 2. Let's say you took out the psychedelic level. Does it still make it on this list? Because for me,
I think so.
Artful Escape is the whole game is like that, and I'm not saying my choice is Artful Escape. Okay. And I've played all of these. I've completed Ratchet and Psychonauts. I am early into Artful Escape and Kena Bridge of Spirits.
I'm like 90%. I'm 90% complete with Kena, but I've played them all. All the others I've played to completion. 90% complete in Kena.
You know, I almost want to go Psychonauts just to say that I bet Psychonauts all of that.
See, honestly, I'm gonna say Artful Escape. I'm gonna say that because this is the only category where they have every right to stand tall, more than the others. Okay, every right to stand tall. I really think Artful Escape. If Kena gets it, I won't be angry. If Psychonauts gets it, I won't be angry either because both those two have a strong pull. But I think if there's any category that this game gets some accolades, and I mean, it's got Lena Headey as one of the voices. It's got like so many great actors, like actual actors performed in this, and the art is just next level. Like I want to take a screenshot and literally hang it on my wall. It's that beautiful, you know, and artistic and like abstract. It's just crazy. So I'll go there. So what are our choices here? We have. I'm going Artful Escape. BtCloud, I think you said Kena. And Everborn, you said?
I got Artful Escape, yes.
So see, now this time it's you and me. Go in there. All right, so next category. The best score and music.
Artful Escape.
Again, Artful Escape?
Artful Escape.
Have you played Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah,
sir?
I'm playing it as we speak. Artful Escape.
Like every time I turn that game on, I feel like an 80s kid just bopping it. It's not even see what's not fair about that game is it's not music that potentially could be a hit. They are all hits. There are literal hits in that thing. You know, like crazy hits in that game to the point where you can't stream it. Like,
well, this is the reason I'm not going with Guardians of the Galaxy is because that is more of a soundtrack, and they don't get the originality points for it.
Sure. I'll give you that. And in this category, all right, BtCloud, what's your choice?
Well, first of all, it's not Cyberpunk. They can get that out of the way. I'm not awarding laziness and incompetence. So get out of my face. Deathloop is not it. Deathloop's good, but doesn't have the greatest.
Deathloop has that cool 70s like blaxploitation music. It's real interesting.
It's cool when shit hits the fan, it starts bumping. Yeah, but most times it's kind of like this slow, somber music that I'm not really crazy about at all. Neo Replicant is okay, but not really it.
It's okay. Yeah.
Artful Escape, I did hear a lot of music in that. It's actually really good.
It's all music, really.
Yeah, it's really good. And Guardians is bringing back that old school vibe completely. Like it kind of really reminds you of the film when they play those like true hits. So
it's like watching the 80s movies in the weekends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me being a kid me being someone who loves Marvel, really, I gotta go. I gotta stick with my guns. I think Marvel might win that.
You think they will take it? They'll take it. Okay. Strong choice. And how about you, Everborn?
I already said Artful Escape to begin with.
Okay, so the two of us will go Artful Escape because I agree Artful Escape will take it because it's original. The whole game, all you're doing is shredding on your guitar, like the whole game. Now, real quick about Cyberpunk.
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on, just one minute. So, BtCloud, you chose Guardians.
Yeah. He chose Guardians, and both of us chose Artful Escape.
Okay.
So, real quick about Cyberpunk. How and why do you think it's on this list?
Because it's going to win RPG of the year, and I'm telling you right now, that's what I'm picking because I want to see the world burn. I want to see.
He wants to eat that popcorn.
Yes, I want to see the freaking Scarlet Nexus and Tales of Arise people lose just their minds when Cyberpunk wins. I can't wait for it. I don't even know.
We'll get there.
Putting it there to be on the record.
You're putting the cart before the horse. I'm talking about music and score. Do you really think? I don't think it deserves music and score. Like the music that's there, certain tracks are interesting, but it seems like it's a very small soundtrack. You know, they're trying to go for that template that GTA set. You know, where you have so many radio stations and you listen to very very interesting things, but during my time with Cyberpunk, and you know, all jokes aside, I actually had a pretty decent experience with Cyberpunk because I had played it on PC, blah, 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 blah. I'm still waiting for the next gen patch to play it on console, sure. But one place I don't think it shined is the soundtrack. Like I've heard the same songs many, many times during my playthrough. And that's a problem. You have to have a big, robust soundtrack. I don't think they did. I think they had a few interesting hits that they kept playing over and over again. What do you guys think? Everyone, I know you beat it. You disagree?
Yeah, but I beat it back in December last year, so I don't even remember the soundtrack. Which says to me that it wasn't that memorable.
True. And of course, we know BtCloud is just like it's a travesty that thing's even on the list in the first place.
I mean, we're talking about games getting snubbed, and then they're awarding game stuff that first of all, that the studio is trying to remove from our memories. Didn't they remove it from stores?
Yep.
I mean, it's. Yep. I'm good.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Anything
it shouldn't. I don't even know why the hell it's on this list. I don't know why.
I mean, the only thing Cyberpunk has legit going for itself is Keanu Reeves. That's literally the only thing that holds it up for a lot of people is Keanu. Like that E3 movie, he's like, "You're breathtaking." That's the only thing he's got.
I was actually surprised that at the 20th anniversary they showed Keanu Reeves come out Um,
It was a big moment
because then, everybody,
was.
it reminds everybody what happened after that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it was a huge moment at the time,
Yeah.
but like when you think about how it played out, I was like, do you want to remind people of Cyberpunk?
Yeah, they want to remind
Yeah.
people of the memory, like the whole "you're breathtaking" meme and all that. So it's a big thing for Xbox. That's why they remind people about that.
Best audio design.
I'm going Resident Evil on this one.
Okay.
Audio design.
locked in.
This is where
you think Returnal. Am I wrong, BtCloud?
This is where Returnal is super high up on that list. Resident Evil Village is amazing as well, though. Has great sound. The sound in Ratchet was good too, but I don't think it's gonna win for that. Deathloop, no, not Deathloop. Forza's good. Cars do sound great, but I don't think it's gonna. It'll take the credit for that. It would either be Resident Evil or Returnal, and if I was to be a betting man, I would probably give it to Returnal more likely. And the reason why, the guy who we interviewed, his name is Rudolph Rustoga, and he actually is one of the lead sound engineers for the game, and the process that they went through to make the sounds like that, like, it's like when you're in water, that claustrophobic like sound you get. They actually recorded somebody with a helmet, and they were dumping water and stuff on that. There's so much stuff they went through to capture the sounds, and they're so authentic. So I would go with Returnal winning that.
Okay. See, for me, I think this is a booby prize for Forza, and they don't deserve it in this category. Why? Because Forza 5 is in Mexico, and you can barely tell. You can barely tell it's in Mexico unless you're looking at it. The sounds of Mexico are not there. And that was my criticism of Forza when I played it. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. They do ray traced sound here. So, like, depending on where you're looking, the sound changes, and it's really there. From a technical standpoint, 100%. They are hitting on all cylinders. But it's not just about technical acumen. It's also about the vibe of the sound, how it works with the environment. Audio design versus music. Yeah, I get that. But I cannot stop with that idea that you're in Mexico, man. You're in Mexico. There should be,
but see, audio design is very different from music and score. So
I get that.
But this is what I'm saying, it's not really a booby prize, because this is about all of the sound effects and how the sound comes around you.
But the problem is
lose because of the Mexico soundtrack. That's why they didn't nominate it in best.
No, I get it. And maybe that is my personal thing that's not a bearing on these awards. But even in that respect, right? As well as the sound design is between 4 and 5, you can't really tell that difference. They used a lot of technical ways to get it there, right? And now 5 leverages a specific chip on the console to really make it shine. So it's not like they didn't. Yeah, they used ray traced audio to get it there. All that is true, but still, honestly, when it comes to this, I probably think Returnal or Resident Evil Village will take it. I think I'll give it to Returnal. I think I'll give it to Returnal. I think I will. Why? Because Returnal, they built sound for this game, right? They created sound that what didn't exist in order to express what they were expressing. Whereas with Forza, it was more of, hey, this is how it should sound. How it should sound versus, hey, we're building something new here.
Well, what I want to
all built from scratch
is which of these games have you played with the 3D Pulse headset versus the Dolby Atmos?
I've played all of these with the headsets because I always play headsets on all the time.
Yeah,
I played all of them.
I use these Sennheisers with Returnal and everything, and these all that stuff is amazing.
Because I use the Pulse for
my entire playthrough, and I'll tell you this right now: Resident Evil, in large part because of the sound design, is why it was my game of the year until I played Death Door.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah, you're talking about like especially that section with the doll, right? The doll house.
All of it, right? Like just when you are just in the basement and you hear the creaking of the wood and you can hear the kind of things growling in the back. And I played the entirety
Getting
of
your
Resident
fingers
Evil.
bitten off, you
Yes.
kind of hear it creeping up on you. You don't know where it's at, but you hear it kind of like off to the right, working itself around, and it bites you. Like the sound is really, really good in Village, and even the fight with I forgot his name, but the fish guy. Now that he turns to the little fish and he's trying to kill you underneath the water. You can if you have the headphones on. I don't know if you caught on to this, but if you have the headphones on, I'm talking about when you have to get up to him, right? You can hear him saying "mother" underneath the water, like mumbling "mother." Yeah, you can hear him saying it. He jumps out the water. He gets you.
No,
so
and this is the thing.
I don't want to belabor the point, but we have a few more to go. So let's crank it.
I'm just saying, I played Resident Evil 8 entirely in the headphones after midnight when everyone's sleeping. Amazing experience if you haven't done it already.
So where are we on sound design? I chose Returnal. So did BitCloud, I think.
And I'm Resident Evil Village.
And you're Resident Evil Village. Okay. Now, this one's also a very interesting one. For me, straight shot, I go with Jason Kelly because he made that game. Like I honestly think, by and large, the reason why Deathloop is in the game of the year or any conversation is because of the atmosphere and your moment-to-moment gameplay. And it would have not mattered if Jason Kelly did not do the work he did. I loved Juliana's portrayal as well, but Jason Kelly was in there the whole time. I like Esposito's portrayal. I really like it. I really do, but he wasn't in that game that much. When he came, he brought it, but he wasn't in that game that much. This dude was with you through the whole game, and I keep saying it. He sounds like slow-mo backslap. And the words he chooses to use are also like slow-mo backslap.
And he's just sitting there, and he finds out the truth. You know what I mean?
And don't do it. Don't do it.
Playing this next year.
I know. But even when you find out the truth and all that stuff, it's just his dialogue.
It's just hilarious.
The shifts in dialogue from humor to serious to sad. In a sense, he's really, really great in the game with his dialogue.
Beast mode is right. For the previous category, sound design, Halo would have won if it was considered.
But Halo is not out yet, so let's keep it moving.
No. That's not what I'm saying. The sound design of how the guns and everything feel. You've played that.
Sure,
that is out.
I get you.
Don't have to.
I get you. But but what I'm saying is the official product has not hit shelves even virtually.
The
it is a beta right now.
Would win.
Yes, I get you. But we're in the what was released land.
Okay.
So what do you think, good sir? And I know you haven't played all of them, but in your estimation, Everborn, which one wins?
I said Giancarlo Esposito. Who you got, BitCloud?
You said Giancarlo. Okay. How about you, BitCloud?
So I already know a lot of people probably because she was advertising the hell out of it on Instagram. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are just spamming the
Lady
hell
Dimitrescu.
out of Lady Dimitrescu because of obviously what Maggie brought to the table. Even though there was some enhancements involved with this. My money would be Jason Kelly or Giancarlo. I think both of them would be the winner. Personally, just for the amount of time I put in the Deathloop, I have to go with Jason Kelly. Jason Kelly,
I agree.
Really, really killed.
He brought it, man. He brought it. He really did. He brought it. So okay, 1 for Giancarlo Esposito, 2 for Jason Kelly. I want to move along because I don't want to make this too long. So we're gonna go quickly to the next one here. All right, games for impact.
We can skip this one.
You want to skip this one?
I think the game that might win that. Shit, what was that game?
I go
probably Life is Strange or Chicory.
Yep. I go for Life is Strange. I haven't played all of them, but I played Life is Strange. I played Chicory, and I saw a gameplay of. Oh, okay. I saw a gameplay of Boyfriend Dungeon. I haven't played it, but I saw a gameplay of it, and I thought it was interesting. But definitely, I think Life is Strange is going to take this one. Everborn, what do you think?
I didn't know what games for impact meant. I apologize. I thought
so pro social.
No,
more voices.
Now I read the subtitle.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of these, but I've heard of Life is Strange, so I'm going to go Life is Strange.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bit
Life is Strange.
I think we all are in agreement. See, there you go. Even the chat. Shout out to Fuzzy Belvedere. He's on there. That's right. Okay. So moving along. Best ongoing game.
Oh, that's either going to go to Apex or Fortnite. I would probably say
Apex or Fortnite.
Apex might win it.
I'm gonna go with Genshin Impact.
I actually think Final Fantasy Online may take
Oh
it because
shit! I
people
didn't
are
realize
loving that game.
No. You are right. I'm going to go with Final Fantasy 14. I did.
That's
not,
where I'm going.
I didn't even see that was on there.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I think it's a travesty that Sea of Thieves is not on here.
Yeah,
I think it's a travesty because that game. I think that game is still quietly in the background, pleasing and really hitting its stride with those who play it. I think it's a travesty. It's not on it, but that's a simple snub. That's fine. It is what it is.
It's definitely awesome. I know Kate Yeager talks a lot about it, and shout out to her. We talked to her as well, but
I saw that interview. Great interview.
She posts a lot about Apex. I think Apex might shock us. I don't know. That might be a shocker.
No, and I know Apex is really doing it. There's still a lot of ink spilled on Apex, and it's been out for how long now?
Yeah.
So yes, if they were to take it, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, the only place I'd be unhappy would be Fortnite because enough already. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right, so
I mean,
we got Final Fantasy 14 for me, Final Fantasy 14 for you, and
Apex for
Apex.
BtCloud.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, best indie. 12 minutes.
Death's Door. I didn't have to think about this one.
It would either be
I honestly think that here's where you get upset, Everborn, because I agree with you that it should be Death's Door, but I think Kana will take this.
Yeah,
because in the Jeff Keighley world of everything must be cinematic, Kana outshines Death's Door.
Okay,
it's either going to be Kana or 12 minutes, in my opinion. I think Kana though.
Because this is the first place we've seen Death's Door like awarded, right? Oh, I hit submit. Let me unsubmit because I don't think it'll be Death's Door. I think it should be, but it'll probably be Kana.
Okay, so Kana for the both of you guys. I'm going with Death's Door. I'm standing on that square.
Yeah, and I want you to be right because then I'll feel righteous with this world. But my cynical brain is taking over. I don't think they'll get it. All right. Best mobile game.
Genshin Impact.
Do we care?
I didn't really care about this one, but I went with Marvel Future Revolution.
Okay, so Marvel
and Impact.
And then Marvel for BitCloud.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's either between Genshin or Pokemon Unite because those two are really hitting big these days. I'll go Pokemon Unite just to flavor it up a little bit, and you can stay with Genshin. Okay. So now we have three different. We spread it out. Yes, first spread. There we go.
So,
all right.
Pokemon Unite. You went with?
Yeah, I went Pokemon Unite. Not that I play it because I'm not a big Pokemon guy, but it is. I cannot get away from that damn game. Everyone I hear that game's mentioned far too often. But let's go. All right. Best community support. Definitely not Destiny 2.
Not Destiny.
Definitely not Destiny 2.
It's not Fortnite, I don't think. No, it's not No Man's Sky.
I actually think it's No Man's Sky.
Really?
I actually think it's No Man's Sky because they are out there with their community. They are still doing it like to this day. It won best ongoing game before, and it's still alive because their community loves them and they stick with them. I think, my personal opinion. Yeah, so that's me. I say No Man's Sky.
So you got No Man's Sky.
What do you think?
Apex or No Man's Sky?
Again, Final Fantasy's in there, and so is Fortnite. Destiny, what? Nah, I don't think so. People always hate them for their communities.
And why is it not Fortnite?
Because Fortnite does what they do. They don't do what the community wants. They're not community focused. They're on, hey, this is what you want because we said so.
I'm going with Final Fantasy 14 because people are Like, I don't know what happened this year, but people just started going crazy talking about it. And that has to be because of something they're doing with the community, I'm assuming.
I will say I agree with Fuzzy, though. Dying Light should be in this conversation. For as long as that game has been out, it's still getting community. Like, it recently got an update. Like, recently. Dying Light should be in this conversation, but I hear you. I'm still sticking with so No Man's Sky for me. What were you again, Bit?
I played none of these, so I'm just saying Apex.
Apex for BtCloud. Everborn? Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Innovation and accessibility. For me, hands down, Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, Forza might win that.
It has a huge, I mean, its suite of accessibility features is unparalleled. Like, and I've heard many folks with disabilities speak on it. Like, they really enjoy this game because of that purpose. Like, it really like makes it. I think I heard Gaming Forte say this. Even people who do not have disabilities tend to use some accessibility features just to win, because it really like lets you tune it however you want. They're very good with accessibility features. So that's my choice. Everborn, what's your choice?
I'll choose the same.
Oh, okay. And
yeah, I'm with y'all.
I guess we're even spread. There you go. We're on one. All right, that's good. Moving on. Best VR AR game. I won't even continue. BtCloud, do you have any choice in the matter?
I heard good things about Resident Evil and Sniper Elite. Hitman 3 didn't really see much of, but if I was to really be a betting man for that, it would have to be the Resident Evil 4 or Sniper Elite VR.
Okay. Everborn?
I'm going Resident Evil 4.
So you both are going Resident Evil 4? You both are going Resident Evil 4? BtCloud?
Yeah, I'll go
Okay. I think you guys are probably right, but I'm going Lone Echo 2 because Resident Evil 4 is not a real VR game. It's a hodgepodge that has been slapped together, and those that know better. This is a real VR game, AAA VR game. And yes, I get it. All the others, people like it. This is the last AAA VR game in a long time because people didn't see it. So we shall see. I'm probably wrong, but I need to stand on this square because the game deserves some respect. We'll move on.
You got Resident Evil, right? All right. Best action game.
Best action game.
Okay,
I think Returnal takes this.
We can remove Back 4 Blood off the list. Don't even know why it made the list.
I don't think Back 4 Blood or Chivalry 2 because Chivalry 2 is more a multiplayer game.
Yeah. It's more of a complex parry type of game. Deathloop's good, but it's not as action as people would think it is. I mean, it can be.
It's more puzzle.
Yeah, it can be if you want to go guns blazing, but prepare yourself to die a lot. That's going to stop you from doing that.
Far Cry 6, although I enjoyed it, people are tired of that Far Cry formula, so I don't think it'll take it.
Yeah. Definitely.
So this is probably Returnals.
Yeah, this would be a sure.
I think
win
this is
for
Returnal.
No. All right, all three of us go Returnal.
Yeah, sure one.
Yeah, there we go. Next,
best action adventure. I am going with.
This is a tough one.
I'm not giving Metroid anything. I don't care. The hell with Nintendo.
It probably might win this one.
It might, but I'm just gonna go right with because really, Resident Evil is not really all action type of thing. It's really not. It has one big set piece that is an action, but I wouldn't say it's an action.
When you play as you know who,
I know, yeah, that's all action. So,
and it turns into a completely different kind of game.
It basically turns into Call of Duty.
Yes, but
in the right way.
Good,
but in the right way. So yeah, I would have to say Ratchet for best of action.
Okay,
I
Ratchet for
BtCloud because Ratchet is gonna get snubbed everywhere else, and I think this is the way for
them to get what they want. Okay,
yeah, it's a lot.
And you know what? That cynical brain of mine says that you're right, but I'm not gonna go with my cynical brain.
You'll go with Marvel,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, figure you were gonna go Guardians. I say Ratchet.
That game deserves it. Best role playing game.
Again,
okay, everyone, go ahead.
Cyberpunk on this damn list.
Because they want to see the world burn.
2077. They know it'll have everybody talking about the show if they
make it. You know what? I am voting for Cyberpunk. No.
I'm voting. I would say my vote will go to Scarlet Nexus or Tales of Arise.
Me too. Yeah. I'm thinking Scarlet Nexus because I played that more.
Tales of Arise should probably win. But I'm going Scarlet
Nexus.
No, I'm going Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
He wants to see the world burn. I'm going Scarlet Nexus because I played Scarlet Nexus and it deserves some place on this award categories, and this may be the only place it gets something. So there's that. We are more than halfway through, so let's keep it moving.
Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on, because I don't.
I'm sorry. I'll go back.
RPG.
I'll go back.
Okay, so you chose Guardians, right, for action adventure, right?
Yes, action adventure. I chose Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, and you went with Ratchet, right? Bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so for RPG, who do you guys have again?
Scarlet Nexus.
Or both Scarlet Nexus.
Okay.
And you went with Cyberpunk.
Tales. Those are like the two obvious winners in that category.
Okay. All right, now let's move on.
I'm good.
Did I? Is that right? Yeah. So best role playing game. Next category, best fighting game. Fighting genre has kind of like been a little light these days.
Yeah, Tekken 8's not dropped yet, so people are tired of Tekken 7, and a lot of stuff just hasn't really been hyped.
Guilty Gear Strive is doing interesting things, I hear, and so is Nickelodeon's Adventure All-Star Brawl. That got a lot of attention when it first came out. I don't know how it did after it came out. Admittedly, I haven't played it.
Yeah. So it's funny when I cast my vote, I said Guilty Gear, but honestly, I might go with Demon Slayer. I did look that game up and I saw a lot of stuff and seen how people were reacting to it. But it might be Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer might walk away with this. Virtual Fighter, I don't know why that's even on here. It's not nowhere near as good as people would think it would be. And Nickelodeon All-Star Battle, I mean, it got a lot of virtual ink spilled on this thing. I was hearing it everywhere for some reason. If that wins, I will be shocked.
And that's what you call paid promotion.
It could be. I'm sticking with
because of popularity. I feel like it would be Demon Slayer, but I heard a lot of people complaining about issues with the game, even though they were playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got to go Guilty Gear on this one.
Okay, so 2 Guilty Gears and a Demon Slayer. Okay, you got them.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Best family game.
Just give it to Mario. That's it.
Well, there are 2 Marios. See, I contend.
Really?
Yeah, true. I contend that this category where it deserves should be Mario and Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
It Takes Two is not for kids. It's cute and all, but it's about heavy topics. Heavy topics. My kids can't play that. My kids have been itching for me to play Bowser's Fury with them. They love it. They absolutely love it. Mario Party is also broken. It's still a broken mess. It's not a game it's not a fair game. Pokemon Snap, WarioWare, I don't have as much experience with, so I'll say that. But I will definitely say, for me, Super Mario 3D World, which is great, plus Bowser's Fury, which is unusually damn good. Now, how they sold it to people, that was some shady SHIT, but we'll move on from that. I think that'll take
just 1 minute. Sorry again. So for fighting, just remind me again.
Oh, are you falling back behind?
I'm falling behind.
Strive for both of us, you and me, Guilty Gear Strive, and then Demon Slayer for BitCloud, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back to the current category where I choose Bowser's Fury. What do you choose, Everborn? It Takes Two is cute, but it's for teens, if not at least teens.
No, I'm gonna go.
This is a family.
I'm gonna go.
It Takes Two. Okay. All right, and I chose Bowser's Fury. What about you, BitCloud?
Because it is different and it is a thing that I think a lot of people like. Even though it might be for teens, I'm looking at the experience I had with my 11-year-old, and I think a lot of people may have.
So you played this with your 11-year-old?
and the misses separately.
Okay. What about you, BtCloud?
Yeah, it would probably either be Mario Party Superstars or Bowser's Fury. I say Bowser's Fury though. Bowser's Fury's probably got it.
There you go. 2 Bowser's Fury, and it takes 2. You up to date, Everborn?
Yep.
All right, moving on. Best sim/strategy game. This to me is weird because to me, Flight Simulator, as much as I like it, should not be on this list. It should not be on this list. It was last year, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's not right. I heard a lot of good things about humankind. I think Age of Empires 4 takes it.
Yeah.
I think Age of Empires takes it. That's my opinion. What about you,
Age of
BtCloud?
Empires or Inscription? I think Age of Empires though.
Inscription. Okay, so 2 for Age of Empires. How about you, Everborn?
Wake up.
Let's see.
Get on the stick, man. Come on.
You guys went Age of Empires.
Yep. You could pick humankind.
No. I was gonna pick Flight Sim.
He was gonna pick Evil Genius. He was gonna pick.
I was gonna pick Flight Sim, but they did. It already won the same thing last year.
Last year, so there's just no reason for it to be here.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with Age of Empires.
There you go, clean sweep. All right. Best sports/racing.
Hot
F1.
Wheels is definitely not
okay. Let's stop this right now. It's Forza.
We can skip this. Is not going to win it. Riders Republic definitely not going to win it. FIFA, why is that on the list? Not going to make it.
Yeah.
F1 is not going to make it. So they basically just told you the sure award that Forza won. Right there.
Oh yeah, they basically just said, okay, we're not going to give them Game of the Year because it's trash. But yeah, we'll throw them this.
We'll give them this
I'm being ridiculous.
half-ass category we threw together.
That's right. We'll build a category that's only keen for them.
Hot Wheels, like come on, really? Hot Wheels.
This is like best animated feature at the Oscars, right?
You know that Hot Wheels is literally a DLC for Forza, right? It's a DLC that fits inside Forza. I would think it's not. When I first saw the trailer, I thought it was a DLC for Forza. I really did because they did a Hot Wheels DLC last year on Forza 4. But yes, this is definitely Forza. Moving on.
This is the best animated feature at the Oscars.
Best multiplayer
for
It Takes Two.
Out of what? Yeah.
It Takes Two or Back 4 Blood.
Valheim.
Or Valheim.
Yeah, I'd say Valheim or It Takes Two.
Which one?
Nail it down.
Back 4 Blood is nah, I wouldn't do it. I'd say It Takes Two.
What do you think? You say It Takes Two? Okay, I agree. I think It Takes Two as well. And how about you, everyone? 2 for It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
So we're all going now. If it does this, that means it may not get anything else.
Yeah, that's going to get snubbed. Everywhere
Yeah. So we're moving on. All right. Content Creator of the Year. I could give a crap. And we can skip this one, but I've never
heard of any of these people.
Neither have I, but I'm choosing Dream because his name is easy to pronounce, and I like his avatar.
I am not. I'm not.
And I think the same thing happened on. I watched DPS. They did the same thing. They picked him because of his name and his avatar. That's it. No one knows anything. So there you go.
I say skip. I didn't even vote.
Yeah. We're moving on.
I'm not recording that. What's the next one?
All right. Best indie debut.
Oh
no, that's Canada.
This is where I think Canada takes it.
Damn. Yeah.
Because the Artful Escape, folks, this was a great game. It might be a one and done. You might not see another one from them.
Yeah.
But Kana is set to kind of come back and hit us with another one. Even though Sable is also interesting, but I really do think that Kana's taking this one. Yeah. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
Next one. Most anticipated game.
Oh, come on. This is there's no question who won this.
I'm going Starfield.
Elden Ring.
I'm going Starfield.
I go Elden Ring.
It's Elden Ring.
Yeah. And the Ascent was snubbed. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you, Fuzzy. Best indie, the Ascent should have been in there. They got snubbed. I hear you on that.
Well, hold on. Why is Death's Door not on that list?
True.
Wasn't it already in the category? Was it another category?
Yeah, but why?
But Kana's on multiple categories.
Yeah, that's true.
By a new independent studio.
Yeah.
That's why I told you this is not our Game Awards.
There you go. That's right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Kana should have been
because for soundtrack and stuff like that, I would have had Jedi Fallen Order on a lot of the stuff that was in here. It had everything.
Yeah, true.
And it's
true. Yeah, and you can say it was last year's game, but then what about Flight Sim, which was also last year's game that's on the list? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, crazy.
Come on.
But yeah, I think Elden Ring takes this one.
The sequel to Breath of the Wild. It might talk about Breath of the Wild because that trash out here.
Okay, I'm going with.
I'm of all these games, believe it or not, of all these games, I am super excited for the next Horizon. I'm there for it. I even have the collector's edition already bought, waiting for me when it comes out. I'm there for it.
Ragnarok is up there for me.
I will play Ragnarok.
I think Horizon is the one that's the most different place.
And then of course you have Zelda. You're not picking Zelda, Everborn. You are a Zelda stan. What happened?
I know, and I still am.
He disappointed. That's what it is.
He's going Starfield.
Maybe if the Switch Pro came out, I would have chosen.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
you're disappointed. I can
output.
hear it in your voice. You're disappointed after seeing Bayonetta 3 and waiting this long and seeing how bad and poor and optimized Bayonetta 3 looks.
Don't worry about it, baby. All you got to do is buy your Breath of the Wild and put it into your Steam Deck by the time it releases.
No, that's the plan. That's what's gonna happen.
That's the plan, baby.
Okay, so hold on. So you don't have Elden Ring as your most anticipated bit?
I do.
No,
I do.
Okay, no, because I thought you said Horizon was your.
No, it's Elden. It's Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
I think the reason why I think Elden Ring is because there are subreddits dedicated to chopping up what it could potentially be. Like people were just losing their damn minds for no reason.
Did you see the gameplay reveal for Elden Ring?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
it is next level Breath of the Wild. Yes, it is.
Elden Ring.
It is like Breath of the Wild done real, and then they throw in FromSoft combat.
Now, because I asked some other people that were a little more. Okay, forget about who I asked. How do you think does Elden Ring do to Forbidden West what Breath of the Wild did to Zero Dawn in terms of conversation and everything?
It's a completely different game. It's a Souls-like game versus an open world.
That's what kills it.
Yeah.
That's what'll keep it niche because they're still not changing the difficulty. They're not tiering it. They're still making it as hard as nails as it ever was. And because of that, it will never be in the conversation as Breath of the Wild. If they did add that, it might.
Yeah, that might change it. But also, if you look at the class specifications for that game, for Elden Ring, they got some of the sexiest classes I've seen in a long time. Did you see the ones for there's so many for the sorcerer? There's like that for Elden Ring. Like the classes, like they have warrior, they have the shadow or something like that. They look so good. Like it just
cool.
It's so good.
I will definitely try it because that world is appealing to me. But I drop from games often because I'm just not ready to keep banging my head. I got kids, I got a job, I don't have the time. So eventually, I will just this was good, and I'll put it down. And this will probably fall in that same category. But the world gives it the world they built makes me think that it deserves at least a try. In this category, Valorant.
I don't know anything about this category.
So best esports game. I'm removing Call of Duty from my mind.
Me
never
too.
Give Call of Duty.
And I'm also getting rid of Global Offensive because that game is just long on the tooth. Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Global Offensive, like Counter-Strike. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm not only care much for Counter-Strike, even though it might win because CS. It might. I
remember the college days of Counter-Strike, man.
But see, that's my point. The game has been out for that long.
Yeah, it's been out
enough already, giving it the same damn award every year. Like, come on now. They haven't changed much. Yes.
Because I want change. I would say Valorant because I want change.
Yeah, I'm thinking Valorant, or it's between Valorant or League of Legends, but I'm going Valorant.
Okay.
How about you, Everborn? We're just picking in the dark right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go League of Legends just because you guys
Okay.
both chose Valorant, but I don't play
Cover the
any of
spread.
these games, so don't
Yeah, neither
listen
do
to
I.
anything I say on this Valorant.
Best esports
And-
athlete who I could care less about.
Yeah, I'm not even going to choose one because I care not. He's the simp. The simp. He calls himself the simp. All right, let's move on, shall we? No. Best esports team. Move on.
What is this, WWE? We got teams like that?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on.
Best esports coach. Move on.
Trash.
Best esports live event.
Okay, come on.
All right,
Come
so
on.
looking at this. This is just funny because it's like you have let's see, you got the international, you got PGL, you got PUBG, you got Valorant, and you got League of Legends. Where is Tekken's World Tour?
Yep.
Where is Mortal Kombat's tour? You know what I'm saying? Where are the other tournaments? There are other games out there besides for
and these are the last. So
skip.
we're at oh, hold on here, or does it not let you vote? Okay, I guess I have to pick one because it won't let me continue. 26 of 30. Well, no, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I did not vote. I didn't vote in any of the other categories. So let's view them here. Yeah, so that's where we are. They kept all the esports categories to the bottom there.
So basically, most anticipated is the last category.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So here we are. Here we are with the final spread from Mr. Everborn Saga.
Let me zoom
tallying it up for us. Yep.
Okay. There we go.
By and large, it looks like there's a lot of Psychonauts in there. I do see a lot of Psychonauts in there.
We're gonna see how this turns out, and we're gonna tally it up.
And why is it accessibility? BitCloud is about Forza Horizon 6. That ain't out yet, bro.
No, that's the slide.
The spreadsheet. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know what it did. So I actually I'm happy with this list. I think this list is a good spread.
Just for the record, this is the list you didn't want to make, but I have this for us.
No, I feel you. I feel you. No, it's good. It's good. Makes the dream work. Yes, very good, very good. You know, and we're around 3 hours, so it's actually perfect timing. We might as well. We're about to round the bottom of the barrel and close up shop. But so here are the receipts. I'm sure we'll get back together and we'll see who hit the most right and who needs to be tarred and feathered in the streets for their ridiculous takes on the internet.
And if I win this, then everyone will know that I'm right about Sega being acquired before the end of the generation.
He's gonna wear a big old Swami hat. He's gonna be in here, dashiki on, Negro Damas, they'll call him.
Yes, there we go.
It will be interesting. Okay. So no, all right. Well, thank you guys so much. So I think this is a good place to leave it since we're heading into the 3 hour mark.
I do have one question for everybody.
What question do you have? Go ahead. Yes.
Now I put out a tweet back in August when everyone wasn't sure, as I was, about Halo, and I said my new response to any Halo slander is a short and sweet 10 million. Right? And at the time, I thought that was a lofty number, but seeing as how Forza has done that in 7.5 days.
Yep.
What do we think Halo Infinite will be in terms of total player count by the end of this year? Calendar year 21.
It's a lot of stress being put on Halo now, right? Especially from their own studio, from their own thing, right? Now if you don't hit them Forza numbers, it's like, oh man, what? No. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I really don't know. Especially considering they've kind of soft launched it before the campaign. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm just saying this year, how many players will be on Halo Infinite this year?
I say you'll get like 10, 15 million players by the end of the year. I think so. Because remember, they got PC, they got the last gen, they got this gen, the whole spread is covered.
Cloud
they have
is
a lot.
very well for them in terms of play.
Yeah,
it's free to play as well. That's another big factor.
And it's free to play. Yeah. So I can see 10, 15 million, you know. And now how do you do those numbers
at this point? My question is maybe leave.
I'd say 15, but how do you count those numbers? Is it people who've tried it or people who are actively playing it every day?
Well,
because everybody will try it.
Everyone in December would count towards that total, right? Because you're talking about monthly active users. So it won't really matter until we get
Sure.
into February and March.
Yeah.
The numbers.
Yeah. So that's where the numbers matter. But I'm talking about if you're talking just December, oh yeah, it'll hit 15, 20 million easy. Easy, because everybody will want to try it,
15
and
or
it's
20.
available to be tried. I'll be conservative. I'll say 15.
15.
I'll say
What do you
15.
say?
Yeah.
What do you got, BtCloud? How many players of Halo this year? You got till December 31st.
Yeah, 10 is easy with it being free to play.
10 million. Okay.
I'll shoot the shot and say 15.
You know what?
Mm.
It's gonna be holiday season also.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to say
People at home.
20.
You know what? I'm putting
And
this
while
as
we're
a
talking
category.
Halo, I guess I'll do this. I'll do this. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saving this as a category.
Okay, save it. Put it in the
Halo
spreadsheet.
20,
And this is my last
21.
my last playthrough of Hero Legendary, which I got my ass handed to me. Oh boy. Like by yourself, Legendary? Ooh, take some time. Anyway.
All right. So we got 10 million for BtCloud.
Yep. 15 for me. And for you?
He's probably gonna say 20.
I'm gonna say 17 million. I'm hedging my bet.
Oh, he's giving me that. he's giving me that. What's that game show? $1, Bob Barker. You know, he's outdoing me. All right, man.
Listen, this is here, right? And what I'm gonna do.
Keep it there for the receipts. We're gonna get back to.
I want to share a read-only link.
Okay.
Okay.
And while you do that, we will sit there and we will say this has been a great episode. We've enjoyed, a lot of crazy conversation going on here, and we will come back with the receipts because that's what we do around here. It'll be interesting after the show ends, comes and goes. And by the way, speaking of the Game Awards, it was also confirmed that a first look trailer of the Halo TV show will be on the Game Awards. So if anybody's interested in that, you'll see it there, in addition to whatever other crazy reveals they have. That was one of the things that 343 released. I think Kiki Wolfkill spoke about that yesterday. So that should be interesting as well. So before we go, I will say, BtCloudGaming, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have you here, good sir. It's always good chopping it up with you on Boom shows and all of that. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you will join us again. Go ahead and tell the fine folks where they can find you during the week, all your crazy interviews. Onward and upward, good sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It was fun. I'm glad I could make it. Had a blast. Shout out to you, Everborn. Great show, everybody in the chat. I'm a busy dude, man. I rarely get a chance to upload nowadays on YouTube, but when I do, it's at BtCloudGaming on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Now, with me working with IGN and me doing everything else on the side, especially going back to work, it's been a lot of extra hurdles to get content out. But at the same time, I'm still learning and in the process of doing a lot of stuff. So it's fun to say the least. That's for sure. But yeah, that's where you guys can find me. Make sure you guys, again, hit that like button if you enjoyed this show.
Please, appreciate it.
And,
Thank you.
Definitely, if you want to stay up to date, anything I do, especially follow me on Twitter at BtCloudGaming. Make sure you follow Santi, everybody. And yeah, that's where you'll usually find me most of the times. But yeah, I appreciate
you, good sir.
Had fun.
It's wonderful seeing you climb as you do. The man is out here working hard. Great interviews, very level-headed conversation. You need PlayStation conversations. Sometimes you miss something. You want to catch what's going on in the PlayStation universe. Make sure you're following BtCloudGaming. The man is out here. Yeah, he's out here putting in the good work. Calling the balls and strikes as you want your content creators to do. So we appreciate him joining us today and continuing the march onward. I want to see you on IGN. I want to see you on Unlocked or on Beyond. I want to see you out there.
I would love to be on there. A lot of people have been asking. Yes. A lot of people now asking that I should do that. I mean, it would be cool to be on there. I ain't gonna lie, it would be awesome. But
yes,
again,
so we're hoping to see you. Yes.
Yeah, being a content creator, man, you got to be able to call it down the middle, regardless of your preferred
That's
platform.
right.
You
That's right.
just got to be. If you want to sit in a bubble and go, you're a PlayStation channel or an Xbox channel, and all you do is slander, the opposite side, and you don't say what the problem is, you're not really a channel that you're saying you are. You're not talking about what you're talking about. So it's just, people need to understand that. And a lot of people do, but they get upset. That's why people call me BtCloud. They're like, oh, he's a bot. I'm like, listen,
Ridiculous.
I love it. I love it at the same time because I look at their PSNs and then they disappear from my chat. I was like, yeah, let's not have this conversation. Let's not have this conversation.
Indeed.
Dude's got 2% in Deathloop, and they're like, oh, Deathloop is a game of the year. It destroys anything on Xbox. And I'm sitting going, I
saw somebody. I was listening to somebody in Spaces, like what's his name, Jeff Keighley Spaces. Go, Returnal's my game of the year, but I haven't played it. I was like, get me out of here. Get me out of here. He's like, I don't have a PS5, so I haven't played it, but it's going to be my game of the year. I'm like, okay, bro. Yeah, that really lends to your credibility.
Dudes do the most, man.
Oh, man. It's hilarious. But seriously, we really appreciate you coming out. You are always welcome. As we say, the fridge is back there. Just come in there. You say, I'm in here. We got you. It's all good.
Oh, for sure.
Anytime.
I'll definitely come through more for sure. It was
appreciate
fun.
you. Yes.
My message for people, again, it doesn't matter what platform you're on or what side you.
That's
prefer.
right.
You can all get out here and do more than what you think you can. And if you need any inspiration of that, just look at what I've gone through and led to with it. And it's crazy. I've done this in record time. I've done this in about a year of a change.
Yeah.
It started with interviews. Cool. And then now you're seeing me work with IGN. That's crazy, right? A lot of people said that's stuff that can't happen. Anything can happen if you put the effort towards it and just really grind towards it. Don't get caught up in numbers. I laugh at people who try to hype up numbers like, hey, we had this amount of numbers compared to these guys. I'm sitting going, but when I look at that and I go, how did you get those numbers? Did you get those numbers because you put in the grind? Or did you get those numbers because you made a lot of noise? So you never want to be known as someone who makes a lot of noise. Because when you make a lot of noise, anybody can show up to anything for said noise when you're slandering something. But if you put in the effort and you truly grow it and you see it grow naturally, then you're actually, you'll see actual results.
And Anonymous, I will have links to the chat, to his channel, to all that stuff. All in the show notes. You will see them post when this goes live. Appreciate you. Join this man. Subscribe to his channel if you can. Put the link in the chat. I'll also make sure I get it into the show notes before the show is up.
Let me see.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
And in the meantime, Mr. Everborn Saga, you are and before I even let you go, you can find me. Actually, I will be on the Green Pass Gaming podcast this Sunday as well. They were kind enough to invite me on. We were supposed to do it last week, but they had technical issues that made them cancel at the last minute. They are now redoing it, and we will definitely be joining in there, having a great conversation with them. BtCloudGaming's YouTube channel is now in the chat. It will also be found. No, that's the wrong one. My bad. My bad. It didn't copy it correctly. There you go. That is BtCloudGaming's YouTube channel. I will post it a few times. And it'll also be in the show notes, so y'all can check it out. Anyone who happened to catch this after the fact, we appreciate you. Yes, Green Pass Gaming, they will have me on this Sunday. Follow me, TKO Asante. When I go live, I'll make sure I let you guys know. Nice, cool British chaps. We're gonna have a chin wag, as they say. So I'm looking forward to chatting with them. Mr. Everborn Saga, you will be on the Fonzarelli Gaming Network Sunday as well. Please tell the fine folks where to find you. And before I let him speak, if you are here, please go follow this man. YouTube.com/Everborn Saga. We want to see more of y'all on there. We try to keep it PG here on the Gaming Circle, but on the real, it goes down. All right, and we want y'all to be in the chat because it goes down, baby. On movies, TV, and it goes down. Last week we actually had last Thursday we talked about The Harder They Fall. If you haven't seen that, man, what a great movie. We had a bit of conversation about that. We had the one and only King David was in the spot.
Speaking of kings, we'll be talking about King Richard's
King
very
Richard,
soon.
yeah. I hear really good things about that. That is that for those who don't know, that is the Will Smith vehicle talking about the life and times of Serena and Venus Williams. You know, their origin story, if you will. I hear really good things. Everborn, please tell us where we can find you, folks. If you're not following the Everborn Saga channel, you're doing it wrong. It's in the chat. Everborn, where we're going to find you this week.
Yeah, man. We started this thing at the same time, and Mr. K. Asante is about 30 subs in front of me. And we do everything together.
I'm sorry.
Right.
So, yeah.
So if you like what you hear here, come and follow me over there. So me and K. Asante's gentleman bet of who gets to 500 first.
I have not had a gentleman bet.
Don't
He's
worry.
the only one who's betting.
He had an ungentlemanly bet. See, I'm the only one who's civil.
I'm not betting. I'm not betting at all.
Man, choosing violence. I'm not betting.
You know, I'm not betting at all. I'm just here trying to promote, make everybody shine over here.
That's fine.
Go
But
ahead,
everyone's
man.
the link is in the chat. But more importantly, we have a Kickstarter going on right now.
Yep.
And I need to share the link to that Kickstarter. And BtCloud, you can help me spread the word on this thing. This is for our latest book that we're releasing, The Redlands, which let me get the link to you so we can put it in the chat. Okay, and here we go. And Mr. K. Asante, if you could throw this in the show notes for me later.
Yep, we'll do.
Definitely. Great.
For sure. Yep.
But please check out that Kickstarter. We're running it now. Kickstarter chose it as one of the projects we love. We were funded in the first 24 hours, but now that we are setting up a stretch goal so that we can upgrade everyone to hardcover books. And then the second stretch goal, if we hit that, we will be paying for an editor so that we can release the first official Everborn novel, like proper novel, just words, no pictures. But check that out. I think it's our best work to date, and we're going to keep the train moving. So Everborn Saga everywhere. Mondays on PTG, Thursdays on The Real, every Saturday here, and everbornsaga.com if you want to get up to date on any of the books. But like I said, Everborn The Redlands is the new book that we're launching via Kickstarter, and there's only about 16 days left in the campaign. So check it out. And if you don't have the money today, don't worry. No one gets charged until December 7th when the campaign ends, provided it's successful.
The day before Halo drops.
That's by design. That is by design.
This man lives his life around Halo.
Yes, I did. And Sonic these days.
And Sonic, yes, indeed.
But yes. So Everborn Saga everywhere. Check it out on Kickstarter and subscribe to Everborn Saga on YouTube, and like I said, Twitter, Facebook, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and now Oculus, because I had to correct that. But
yes, he's done so.
Everborn Saga, and that's it, man. And Microsoft is going to buy Sega in the next 4 to 5 years.
We shall see. Thank you for everyone who happened to check this out. Thank you guys so much. You guys keep doing it. You guys keep liking, you subscribe. I see a lot of YouTube, Twitter folks out there promoting the work. I really appreciate it. We started broadcasting on Twitch because why not? If you happen to follow me on Twitch, I appreciate that. I think maybe I'll start streaming or something like that eventually. I'm thinking of building a streaming PC and like really taking it there when I have some time off. But thank you guys so much for the continued support. Beast Mode and all the other folks that jump into this, they're becoming too much to actually announce, which is an interesting place to be. I see Fuzzy Belvedere in here. He pulled up. Aronimus. I thank you guys so much for coming. And once again, we'll see you guys next week. And we will end with that wonderful, wonderful outro that we were graced with. So until next week, keep it gaming, folks.